From Birria Taco food trucks to handmade rainbow mochi, here are 33 eats you should add to your Los Angeles bucket list.
Our first stop on our ice cream journey is here at Sweet Rose Creamery. Sweet Rose Creamery has been here since 2010, and they were founded right here in Santa Monica with a total of 5 locations throughout Los Angeles. So what's really cool is that they're using all fresh ingredients from the Santa Monica Farmers Market, and it's coming right here to the ice cream shop where they're making the ice cream fresh daily, and it comes straight to the counter and into your waffle cone.
In the kitchen, everything is made from scratch, starting from fresh eggs right down to the dairy base. We watch them prepare their classic mint chip ice cream. The shop is always changing up its seasonal flavors.
All right, so we have the mint chip ice cream that we made in a waffle bowl covered in sprinkles. The flavor of the mint really pops out at you more than the cream. And I think it's because we're using like really fresh ingredients. It's not like the artificial mint flavors that you find in gum or if you find in other ice cream. You get the fresh flavor, but it is not overwhelmingly minty.
Now, it's time to visit Mochi Malone's ice cream. Mochi and Mehdi Shervani are credited for introducing Persian ice cream to LA.
I'm Mochi Shervani. I'm the older brother. I came here before the revolution in Iran. In 1980, I opened this business. I did the saving. I bought the business from the landlord, and I started making ice cream for local Iranian. Every single person I was giving them samples. That's how I built my business.
We don't create like weird flavors. It's mostly floral or fruit-based or herbal-based, things like that. Some of our ingredients come from overseas, from different countries. We get ingredients from Iran if there's no sanction, from the Persian Gulf area, from Lebanon, from India. We get so many herbs and spices.
The best seller, the saffron pistachio rosewater ice cream. The shop uses imported saffron from Iran.
Right now there is sanction, but right before sanction we bought enough for the next couple of years.
They grind the saffron and put it in hot water overnight. It's mainly used for the color of the ice cream.
These are my food colorings. Okay? These are my food, all natural.
But it's natural.
Yeah, everything is natural, yeah.
They sprinkle their secret herb blend into every ice cream.
Just need it, that's how much sugar.
The key ingredient is the rose water.
The rose was very unusual and unknown to American cuisine. They'd never heard of rose water. So it took him and us so much sampling and kind of lecturing about the ingredients, so those who are not familiar with the flavor to kind of accept that rose can be eaten too. It's just like vanilla. But the thing is, vanilla is more popular here, rose is more popular in the other parts of the world.
And finally, they add the pistachios.
So we're gonna try the classic Mochi ice cream sandwich. This is 2 wafers with saffron ice cream rolled in pistachios. This is their most popular flavor for years, and I'm really excited to taste it. It's really nice because you get little chunks of pistachios that were blended into the ice cream, but also whole pistachios all around the sides. It kind of gives that nice balance from like the creamy ice cream to the crunchy pistachio. The texture, this gets an A+. It is just creamy and stretchy. It's so satisfying, wow.
From Hollywood to Tarzana, it's time to try Wanderlust Creamery.
Wanderlust Creamery is an artisanal ice cream shop, and all of our flavors are inspired by travel. We've been in LA now for about 3 years. I'll think of a place I've been or somewhere I want to go. I'm inspired by childhood memories and also other people's travels. When my friends come back from different places, they tell me about, oh my God, I had this amazing dessert in Sardinia, or I had this ice cream flavor in Japan, and then I'll do a little bit of research and then I'll go from there.
Some of the flavors include sticky rice and mango, inspired by Thailand, Japanese Neapolitan, smoky road, inspired by the Pacific Northwest, pretzel rugbrod, inspired by Iceland, and passion fruit and cacao, inspired by Brazil. We watched them prepare one of the seasonal flavors, breakfast at Café du Monde, inspired by New Orleans. For the breakfast at Café du Monde, they steep the ice cream base with French roast coffee and Café du Monde chicory coffee. Then they mix the ice cream with pieces of fried beignets.
Wow, this is really good. It is a very strong coffee flavor. If you love coffee ice cream, this is like 10 steps higher than that. The bitterness of the coffee really balances out the sweetness of the ice cream.
What I'm really here to see is the flight around the world. It's a sampler that includes a variety of 14 flavors on mini cones.
I'm really interested in the ube malted crunch from the Philippines. Wow. Raspberry lychee rose sorbet from Paris. This isn't really citrusy. This is more fruity, I would say. It's very floral. It's very light on your palate, but the flavor is very strong. This is a very powerful matcha flavor. Really good. Really, really good.
Artisanal ice cream is really big in the city, but we're one of the few artisanal ice cream shops that are actually from LA. So I think that resonates with a lot of Angelinos.
I'm like a big Yelp person, so I like Yelped it.
Yeah, this place got amazing reviews.
It has really good reviews, and it definitely lives up to the hype, honestly. It's really good.
I got ube and violet marshmallow. I just love all the different flavors and how it's like around the world and they all taste extremely good.
LA is a big mixing pot of cultures, and we just want to have something for everybody.
And last but not least, we're visiting one of the oldest ice cream shops in LA, Fosselman's Ice Cream Company. If you love watching old-timey movies and visiting historical spots, this is your place. Christian Fosselman started Fosselman's Ice Cream Company in 1919 in Waverly, Iowa. In 1921, he moved his business to sunny California. Today, the ice cream parlor still remains a family business. The minute you step inside, it's like walking into an old-fashioned soda fountain shop that includes candy, saltwater taffy, swirled lollipops, and a bunch of historical memorabilia along the walls. And the ice cream? Well, that's literally a labor of love.
We make a whole huge variety of ice creams. We do probably 200 plus flavors. And so we work with chefs from country clubs, hotels, restaurants, things like that. So they'll come up with unique ideas of something they might want on their menu. And then we also listen to a lot of our customers in the retail stores. Because of the diversity of LA, you know, we've changed a lot of flavors we never thought we'd make. So we do a lot of Asian flavors. We do taro root, lychee, black sesame, red bean. Do a lot of Latin flavors, horchata, Oaxacan chocolate, dulce de leche. So that's kind of reflected a lot of probably the last 20, 30 years of where we've kind of changed or modified what we do. And then we still do all the old-fashioned, you know, English toffee, lemon custard, rum raisin, things like that. So it kind of has just evolved over time.
All the ice cream is made in-house. Once the ice cream is ready, 2 employees simultaneously add and mix the additional ingredients. This keeps the ingredients like chocolate chips, cookie dough, red velvet cake, and maraschino cherries from breaking into tiny pieces.
My dad always used to say, make it so good they can't resist it. And I think it's because we haven't changed our ingredients as far as cheapening things. We've always stayed true to a super premium ice cream, which is 16% butterfat, never compromised quality.
We got a classic banana split. I figured it would be the best thing to get at a classic ice cream parlor. Classic. So good. I love when places get the classic flavors right. Like, you can't really be a good ice cream place if you can't get strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla perfect, because those are probably like the most popular flavors.
There's been so many generations that come in where we've seen parents bringing their little kids in who end up working for us as like a second or third generation employee. We just remodeled for our 100th anniversary, and it's kind of this give and take where people were like, don't change anything. You know, we want it to look like it did 50 years ago, but you have to evolve with time too. So, but it's that historical thing that they want to remember what it was like when they were 10 or 15 or now they're 50. So it's cool that we've seen that, you know, transpire over the years.
I feel like I'm on a movie set for like the 1950s, 1960s. It's kind of like being in a time machine the minute you step into the ice cream parlor. So I've had some time to think about all the ice cream that I've eaten, and now it's the hardest part because I have to pick a favorite and I really can't. All the places that we visited were so delicious and so unique from one another. I'm really happy I have like 4 new places to try, but we have to pick a favorite, so let's narrow them down. The first place we tried was Sweet Rose Creamery, and I think they did the best job incorporating the freshest ingredients into their ice cream. I'd compare their ice cream to a smoothie because of the fresh mint or citrus that they used, rather than tasting like artificial flavors you can taste from store-bought ice cream. For Mochi Malone, they definitely had the most unique ice cream flavors like saffron rosewater, date, and lavender. The shop also felt so authentic to LA. It's one of the older ones on our list, and it still has that simple, homey feel to it. For Wanderlust, I loved their flight around the world. I think it's such a genius concept to include mini ice cream cones from all over the world. It's definitely a really fun ice cream tasting experience. And Fosselman's by far has the most interesting ice cream making process I've seen. They claim to make everything the old-fashioned way, and that's exactly what they did in the kitchen and out at the counter when you order. But this is the best of the best in Los Angeles, and if I had to pick a winner out of those 4, it has to be Mochi Malone. So Mochi Malone's obviously had the most unique flavors I've ever tried. And while the ice cream was sweet, all the flavors really came through, like the rosewater in the saffron ice cream, or like rich cocoa in the chocolate. So I loved their specialty flavors and I loved their classic flavors. Mochi Malone's is such a uniquely LA shop that you can only find here. Like, you can get great ice cream anywhere, but if you want to find the best in LA, you have to go to Mochi's. But that being said, these 4 places are literally the best in LA, so you're not losing if you go to any of these places, and I think you should try all of them. And the good thing is that they're all in different parts of LA, and if you live in LA or have been to LA, you know getting around town is really annoying. So it's really nice that I have 4 new ice cream places to go to no matter where I am in LA.
Los Angeles has over 1,500 donut shops for you to get your fix of hot, sweet, melt-in-your-mouth donut-y goodness.
Whoa, dude!
Los Angeles kind of gets this reputation for everyone always eating healthy all the time, right?
And they are.
Right, but did you know that Los Angeles is also the donut capital of the United States?
I actually did not know that, and I was really surprised to find out.
Since the 1970s, donuts have been an important part of LA's food culture, and this city has been responsible for the evolution of donuts in the US. For this episode, I used various popular websites like Yelp, Eater, and Thrillist to whittle down the list to 4 of LA's best donut spots.
We're definitely trying each shop's classic glazed donut, and also one or two of their specialties to get a feel for what they have to offer.
Awesome, I am ready to eat some donuts.
Let's do it.
Our first stop is SK Donuts. Located in mid-Wilshire, SK is known for having a wide variety of both classic and premium top donuts.
Our donuts are always fresh, light, fluffy. No matter what time you come, it's always consistent.
For 30 years, SK has been serving up fresh, delicious donuts to hungry Angelinos. Started by Hang T's parents, it's been family-owned and operated the entire time.
Those are really good.
So we definitely got to go Nutella.
Classic, glaze.
Yep. I want some with sprinkles on it.
Yeah.
Pink
sprinkles?
Definitely want the one with the Fruity Pebbles on it.
Of course.
Right there, yep. I'm a man-child, gotta have my cereal. The variety at this place is so great, and that's why I took you here.
I thought the reason that Joe took me here was because my initials are SK.
Yeah.
Let's start with the glazed.
If you can't do the glazed right, close up shop. This is like the litmus test, is that the right thing?
This is the litmus test for the perfect donut.
Litmus?
Litmus.
Litmus test.
Litmus.
Litmus test. Ooh. Oh, wow.
The flakiness of the glaze, it's not like melted into the donut, it's laying nicely on top of the donut. So when you bite into it, you get a little bit of like a crunch, some nice texture.
That guy has that thing. I'll go ahead and call that the glaze ladle. It's just like a huge thing, like a gallon of it, and he's just like ba-bam across like a whole dozen, and they're drenching the donuts in this incredible glaze.
This is the fluffiest glazed donut I've ever had in my life, no question.
I gotta dip it in the coffee. I gotta dip it in the coffee. Oh yeah, that's so good. Thinking about the mic?
That's the stuff.
So this one has fruit on it, so technically it's healthy. That doesn't sound right. I'm going for a strawberry.
Joe just called a raspberry a strawberry. That's how much fruit he eats on a regular basis.
Wait, what'd I say?
Next, we're heading to LA's original farmers market to try a true classic, Bob's Coffee and Donuts. Since 1970, it's been a must-visit for anyone in LA serious about donuts.
And it's cash only, so heads up.
Oh yeah, thanks for paying.
Yeah, okay.
Bob's is known for the classics, and there's over 30 varieties to choose from.
I made sure we got the big one.
These feel very like classic. Even the just looking at the cake, it looks a lot thicker. It looks closer to like a buttermilk donut or even like an old fashioned, which I love.
Yeah, very old school LA, very diner vibes. But we're outside. It's always good weather in Los Angeles, so you can always eat a donut outside here.
Right.
Oh, this looks fluffy.
Yeah. Thicker, amazing consistency. Dough's cooked perfectly. The glaze is really delicious. This is about as classic as you can get when it comes to donuts.
This feels and tastes like they make their own mix here in the shop.
Yeah. I bet if I got in a time machine and went back to 1950 whenever this place was open, that donut tastes exactly the same. If it worked well 50 years ago, it's gonna work well today, and they're absolutely right.
I am so freaking excited for this sprinkle donut. Well, first of all, look at that.
Yeah.
Nothing falls off, maybe one or two, you're good.
Look at this.
But yeah, we
Look
got
at this.
cake.
Look at
Cake donut, baby. This is a really, really light cake donut. It's not heavy at all, but I appreciate that it like maintains its structure as you take a bite. Bob's is awesome. I loved every donut here. Now we're headed over to Primo's Donuts in Mar Vista. Since 1956, Primo's has thrived by delivering consistently great classic donuts with a few specialties.
We've been in business 63 years. My father, when he started the business, it was highest quality. Everything had to be the utmost in terms of quality.
I've been coming here from over 20 years.
And donuts are great.
Well said. It has also been said, Sydney, that Primo's Buttermilk Bar is the best donut in LA, so I would like to try one.
You read my mind.
I feel like they don't get much fresher than this. We just saw them glaze these like 15 seconds ago.
They are still warm and they are shiny.
Oh man. I mean, the way it melts in your mouth, the cakiness of it is like so soft, you know? It's like pillowy. And the glaze is perfect on this.
It's less sweet than some of the other like yeasted raised donuts that I've had. And I love how you can see like all the layers.
I feel like I'm biting into a donut pillow. This is so fantastic.
Yeah, donut pillow is the right way to say that. I think the difference between this and other ones I've had is like the glaze kind of stays on the donut, it doesn't crumble, it doesn't crackle off.
Everyone says that this is the thing to get here.
They are known for these buttermilk bars.
The size of this.
It's a heavy boy.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, let's do it.
Whoa, dude. This is not what I was expecting. This is way better.
It has a very familiar taste, but I can't like put my finger on it. Almost like a bread pudding or like a tres leches or like that kind of texture.
Yeah.
They must like glaze them while they're super hot, and then they sit there and they get a little like wet around the outside and still nice and cakey on the inside, but still crispy.
Now it reminds me of those butter cookies. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. The flavor of these are way different than a standard donut because it's more emphasis on the ingredients, the dough, how everything works together, than just packing something with sugar.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yeah, the quality here, you can tell, you can see it, you can taste it, you can feel it.
For our last stop, we're going to LA's iconic donut sign, Randy's Donuts in Inglewood.
Our donuts, you know, first and foremost, they're made fresh every day by hand, which is very different. A lot of other companies use machines. We use proprietary ingredients that are proprietary just to us. They're so high quality that they last longer.
I'm from New York. My cousin lives out here. She told me they're the best donuts in LA, so they're good.
Located near the airport, Randy's iconic donut sign has been seen in numerous TV shows and movies.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut.
But it's not a gimmick. These donuts are considered by some Angelinos to be the best.
It's also the only spot we're visiting with a drive-thru. Thanks for driving, Sid.
Yep, I always drive.
So what kind of donuts are we gonna get? What do you think?
Definitely got to go glazed. Chocolate raised. I think those are the most popular two here.
Yep.
I think it's some with sprinkles.
Yep. I saw like some colorful ones, like some Fruit Loops, I think, or some kind of like cereal.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Great.
So here's your donuts.
Amazing.
Will be coming in a minute.
Thank you. Sorry, my arms are short. Yeah.
I'll get your coffee in a second.
Cool, thank you.
Sydney with the T-Rex arms.
There's not like a median or anything.
No, not at all.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't look.
Are you kidding me?
So for $1.15, you get this big donut. This could easily take care of me for breakfast.
I mean, you say that, but when you eat a donut, you always want to go back for a second one, you know?
Let's find out right now. Ready to bite?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm savoring it. Let me savor it.
That is fantastic. You know, you can judge a donut place by how good the glazed is, and this is a fantastic glazed donut.
It's excellent, yeah.
I'm gonna go in for the chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for you. You want this one?
No, I'm doing the cake donut.
Okay.
That's my jam.
Man.
I would never go for chocolate raised. Like I would
You
never.
should, because this is excellent. So we got cake donuts and we got raised donuts. Raised are fluffy, cake are thick. The raised goes a little more cake, which I like. This is like a thick donut,
It is kind
right?
of cakey. Like the raised is weirdly a little cakey, but that's kind of great.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And this frosting's incredible.
Joe takes the most massive bites I've ever seen in my entire life for donuts. It's like, I'm gonna have one more bite and it's like half the donut.
That's true. That's true bites. Why is it that eating a donut and just staring at that Randy's donut sign's like, it's hypnotic? Sydney, we went to 4 of the best donut places in Los Angeles, and now we have the difficult task of picking which was our favorite. You ready?
I think we're gonna have the same one this time.
I don't think so. On the count of 3?
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
Yeah.
I told you.
I'm so stoked for today. We're going to some of the best burger joints in LA. The cheeseburgers specifically in this city, forgive me if I come off a bit hyperbolic,
are the best in the world ever.
Okay, that's high praise. Because I feel like London and New York have both brought the heat in food tours so far.
Okay.
I know you're an honorary Angelino.
Yeah, we're gonna be going to some old school places that have been here for a long time, and you'll see why when you taste the great food. We're going to a couple of upstarts that are literally killing the game right now. And we're going to maybe a fancy pants place or two to see how the other half live. Regardless, every burger you're gonna have today is a little bit different, but no doubt absolutely delicious. I've been looking forward to this all month.
Yeah, I really appreciate like the history side of food, and I know this is kind of where some people say the modern cheeseburger was invented.
I would say that, yes.
Yeah, so I'm excited to taste it from the source, the original cheeseburger.
We started it here, we perfected it here, and today we're going to some dynamite places.
Let's go, I'm excited.
So this first place I've taken you today, Pie and Burger.
What do they sell?
Personally, I think it should be burger and pie, but this is old school, classic diner vibes. The current owner started coming here when he was 9 years old, eventually started working here, worked his way all the way up, and now it is his restaurant. Everything you see here, preserved, authentic, has been here since whenever it was put in here.
Amazing, wow. I thought for a second you said he started working here when he was 9.
No.
And I was like, American labor laws are all over the place. But if he started coming here when he was 9, that makes way more sense. And yeah, wow. Like, I'm loving the wood paneling, old school, one of the grills, like looks like it's been here for ages.
Well, I am ready to get some cheeseburgers. You want to order?
Absolutely, yeah. What are we getting?
We're getting 2 of the classic cheeseburgers they got here. By the way, they're going to have the lettuce, tomato, onion, and Thousand Island dressing. Okay. It's so good. I can't believe it. Got some fries in the mix, and I'm going to get a slice of pie.
We're at Pie and Burger. We got to try the pie. We got to try the burgers. Let's go order. I'm excited.
And I'm saying this now. Please pace yourself.
Okay.
Okay? Pace yourself.
I'm slowly learning my lesson on that front.
Fantastic.
I'm getting there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, man, look at these.
I made a judgment call. I went with the raw onion over grilled. And normally I don't like a big stack burger, but I make an exception for this one because everything on this is so delicious. You got obviously lettuce, tomato, onion raw. You can see the Thousand Island dressing that's dripping, pickles, and the fantastically prepared burger.
I think because we just went for the single burger, right? Not the double.
Yeah.
So there's actually not too much meat in this, in the kind of ratio perspective. But I do think that with all of this stuff, I like the wrapping.
Yeah.
Because then you bite into it, and instead of all the stuff just flying out the bottom,
very smart.
it's contained.
Burger ingenuity right here on the paper.
You look really excited to bite this, so I think we should just give it a try. Cheers, man.
It's got that great crunch thanks to the lettuce and the tomato and the onion.
Yeah, I think one thing that stands out to me is the texture. You don't often get that much crunch from a burger, but with the onion in there, the pickles in there, the lettuce in there, it's a crunchy burger. I had some reservations about how this has been assembled, but now that I taste it, now that I feel the textures, it all kind of makes sense.
Fantastic, right? And it's a big burger too, right? They're feeding you here. This burger has probably not evolved, but at least withstood the test of time since the 50s or 60s, however long the restaurant has been here. Seeing they're doing something right.
Yeah, it feels very traditional. It feels very classic.
Yeah.
It matches the vibe in here of slightly old school.
Yeah.
They've taken something, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Why bother?
And not only that it's not broke, they have perfected it here, I think. And I wouldn't let you escape without having a slice of pie. You got room for pie?
Of course I do. Always got room for pie.
Yo!
Thank you. They've not skimped on the ice cream.
Oh my god. They put a little ice cream on it, a la mode as they call it.
Did you just say a little ice cream on this?
This specifically is boysenberry, not to be confused with poisonberry, which we will not be eating today, hopefully. Boysenberry dropped in the 20s by my boy Rudolph Boysen. Combination, European raspberry, European blackberry, a Loganberry from here I think, a dewberry, a Drew Barrymore, put them all together and invented a new berry.
In the UK, we might not have a ton of fruit pies. Apple pie is fairly common in the UK. Or apple crumble is probably more popular.
Sure.
But I do love the hot and cold contrast that you get when you put ice cream on a pie or a crumble.
Look at this.
So did you say this is what, so a la mode, when you see a la mode on a menu, is that just with ice cream?
Yeah.
All right, let me try this.
I'm in pie mode, sorry.
We're gonna try a delicious boysen.
Come on. USA, baby. We got berries locked down. You wish this was over on your side. These berries are getting flagged at Heathrow as contraband. They're never letting this into your country. Too dangerous.
It would blow British people's minds.
This hits the streets. That's it.
Man.
That's it.
That's delicious. I want to get a bit more of the
Right?
pastry because most of that was just the filling there.
How do you invent a berry?
I guess just like cross-pollinations and things like that.
What?
But, you know, you like cross-pollinate.
So you
take
need
like
bees.
Yeah, or you can do it artificially.
So you
I'm
got
assuming.
all of those berries by each other, and then you're hoping like a bee goes near all of them, and then does what?
It's how pollination works, right? The bee goes in for the nectar. While it's in there, all the pollen gets caught on it.
Yeah.
And then it flies to another flower,
But
collects more nectar.
how's he doing 4? Does a bee got to hit all 4?
Maybe, yeah.
Did he train bees? You're acting like this is a normal thing. This doesn't make any sense.
Rudolph, his name's Rudolph Boysen. He can do whatever he wants. I love it him. I am a sucker for like a slightly old school historical place. Yep. Does feel like you step slightly back in time. Yeah. The food, while it might be traditional, is very, very tasty.
Fantastic.
Can't fault the food at all. Burger, it's just about as classic as a hamburger gets, you know, but done well. I hear that we have more spots to hit.
We do.
Yeah.
So let's hit it.
Let's go. Why did we just park next to a freeway? Where are we going?
The thing about LA, for whatever reason, we like putting really important things right on the sidewalk, and I got something burger related to show you. Check this out. Behold, a plaque commemorating the exact spot where the cheeseburger was invented. I have some notes.
Sure, go on.
Okay, as you've noticed, we're kind of by the expressway.
Yep.
Now whoever this Lionel Sternberger is, and his name's Sternberger, first dude to put cheese on a hamburger, 1924, exactly 100 years.
I think it's great that we have the invention of the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
We have just highways with the biggest cars you've ever seen, and we have a credit union. I think this is like America, just in one tiny condensed location.
What's going on? With the burger right in the middle of the paragraph? Like, who laid this out like this? Not one graphic designer was just like, you know, we just move it. What happened
Graphic
here?
design is their passion, clearly. I really like it. I love that the guy who invented the cheeseburger had burger in his name.
Yeah.
It's a piece of history. We're at the source. Do you feel closer to the hamburger and the cheeseburger than ever?
I kind of do.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would have liked something a little bit like a burger, like fountain.
Yeah?
Think about how famous a cheeseburger is.
One of the most iconic dishes in the world.
Right.
And it gets a tiny plaque next to a highway. Yeah, I mean, they could maybe have gone a little bit more all out for it.
Yeah.
But I still appreciate it. If I worked here, I'd be touching this every morning like the "This is Anfield" sign.
It should be shaped like a... let's go. Let's get out of here. All right, this is Goldberger. We're located in Highland Park. They also have a location in Los Feliz. Been here several years. This place, fantastic. I could gush all day about how much I love the food here. One thing that I think we should note for this place, the burgers, 100% grass-fed beef.
Okay, nice. I will say that's a weird thing to brag about because in the UK, that's like standard. I'm pretty sure all of our beef is grass-fed. But in the US, you know, I know your standards are a little bit lower, so I'm glad they're at least matching the UK beef.
So our beef is what, mostly grain and corn-fed?
I guess like food pellets, random other stuff. But yeah, if I have the option to do grass-fed, then I'm glad they're doing it.
Okay, well they're doing grass-fed here.
Great stuff.
So here they do LA-style smash burgers. Those are thin patties, man. The guy like really gets in there. He has like this stamp thing to like really make them thin. That makes the edges nice and crispy. This might be my favorite smash burger in all of LA. Possibly the entire world. That's right, I said it.
We haven't even finished the video yet, Joe. You've got to keep an open mind. Is LA like becoming the spiritual home of the smash burger? I feel like that's much more the style over here.
They really are popping off here. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but smash burgers in LA, very popular.
I feel like the ones that we had in New York tended to be a bit thicker, like diner style. But on average, if you order a burger out here, is it going to be smashed?
And I don't say on average, but the smash burgers here, they're so thick paper. You could write a note on these smash burgers. Back in 2018, when Alan was just doing this as a pop-up, this won Best Burger in LA by LA Food and Wine.
Okay, so it's got some pedigree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great word. British buddy over here, got pedigree. I mean, I could talk about how great the burger is here all day, but why don't you taste it and find out? I'm gonna get us 2 of the burgers, the double patty version, a thing of curly fries, and some drinks.
Sounds great.
Sound good?
Absolutely.
All right, stay right here.
Hey,
all right.
Let's go.
Thank you so very much. That's fantastic.
These are beautiful.
Wait till that paper. Look at that. Look at that.
Paper thin.
You know, they're like a folded up in throw it like an airplane.
Looks like a cheesesteak.
Also, they have a house aioli and mustard mixed together to make their own kind of like Dijonnaise, I guess.
I like that mustard on a burger. Underrated, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
Great condiment.
I mean, I'm ready to go. Do you want to take a bite and then talk?
I think we should get it while it's hot, man.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Just by the virtue of smashing it, it has such a profound effect on the flavor. I think it's because it's like crispier edges, and with the cheese and the sauce and the onions, it's just a different combination of elements.
When you smash it that thin, these crispy bits around the side are almost like caramelized.
Yeah.
There's like a sort of almost sweetness to them, which is incredible. It's a simple burger.
Yeah, you see in there, contrast to the other one we went to, it's just the meat, cheese, onions, and obviously some pickles kind of stuck in there. Like, it really is just your mainlining meat and cheese.
Mom.
This sauce, this aioli mustard they're making here, I mean, that's a secret weapon. I don't know if they sell that. Actually, don't sell it.
No.
No. Keep that under lock and key.
Yeah. So juicy. How they get it so juicy? I thought to get it that juicy, you'd have to kind of like keep the patty kind of thicker.
No.
But the amount of juice that's coming off these thin smashed patties is incredible.
And the bun is holding it all down, right? Not falling apart, still pillowy, still fluffy. It's a fantastic burger.
Yeah, you can tell they've really thought about every component of this burger and like how it's going to work together. Well assembled and really delicious.
Awesome, right?
Man.
Also, the price is nice out here at all these places. This burger, they have a combo here. One of these burgers, fries, and a drink for $16, I think?
Yeah.
For a full meal.
Yeah, that's honestly really good value. That's like a big portion, filling food, really, really tasty. I know New York's expensive. Everyone says New York's expensive. In my mind, I thought LA would kind of be the same, but so far I've been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it depends slightly on like where in LA you are.
Yeah, I think Rodeo Drive, this would be $70. But you'd get it when you buy like a Prada jacket or something.
Yeah, stop off at Erewhon for your groceries and then grab a burger on the way home.
Yeah, this at Erewhon would be like $115. Yeah. It'd be impossible for every place we go to have like specifically the same type of burger. Already you can see how this differs from the last place we were at. For me, today is all about just showcasing some of the best. And although it isn't direct comparisons, you're getting kind of a feel of all the different types of burgers you can get out here in LA.
Yeah, I think even like toppings aside, like lettuce, tomato, onion, whatever, even just the way that people are cooking the meat and the cheese and the bread is wildly different.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do like a direct comparison like you say, but so far I've been impressed by what we've had, and
Nice.
I'm intrigued to see where else they can take the humble cheeseburger.
How is this compared to our London burger exploits?
This is really good. I think in terms of smash burgers, that's much more of a recent addition to London. They've only made their way over to us in the last couple of years, I think, and are really catching on, but we're still getting there. This, I would say, one of the best smash burgers, if not the best smash burger I've ever had.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, suffice to say, we would have no problem finishing this meal.
No, I really want to, but I'm having to physically restrain myself.
But we have more burgers to eat, and you need room.
I know, I'm trying to learn my lessons from the past.
Come on, let's go.
So I feel like so far most of my time in LA has been spent in cars. Is that representative of the experience?
I think so. Now, the city does get a bit of a bad rap about being car-centric. It is more car-centric than not. There's a train here, there's plenty of buses. I find that the city has so many great neighborhoods, but getting from one neighborhood to the other is hard. But once you get into a good neighborhood, you're doing lots of walking.
Sure. To be fair, like London's got great public transport, but even there, like getting from one part of town to another can be really annoying.
I mean, there's way worse American cities like Houston, where it's like you got to drive to go everywhere. There's traffic pockets that are tough closer to the western part of the city, like in Hollywood and those areas. If you look at like how the city's laid out, it's like there's these huge mountains you got to go over to go to like Burbank, where you guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys said there's like one or two expressways, so yeah, of course those are gonna be jammed, but I don't know, it's not so bad. Okay, dude, Oinkster, right? Good enough for Guy Fieri. See the thing over there?
I did. Yeah, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
I was about to say. All right, this place, the reason why I take you here is all the awesome burgers they have. They have a burger here that has pastrami on it. Remember the pastrami episode we did for New York?
How could I forget the pastrami from New York?
This place flies through pastrami, all right? They sell, from what I read online, 1,500 pounds of pastrami a week. Also, they got this, I'm gonna pronounce it, ube shake. Ube, yeah, they have one of the specialties here. Fantastic. Some of the menu items, like the ube shake, is kind of a nod to the owner's Filipino heritage.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like the name.
Yeah.
With a name like the Oinkster, you know they're going to be pretty serious about their meats.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I hope so.
So definitely want to do the pastrami burger. Gonna get another just regular cheeseburger, get like a baseline. And they do have a vegetarian burger that is sourced from Burger Lords down the street. So I thought, try one of those, see what you think.
Cool, sounds great.
All right, you hungry?
Still got some room in the tank, yeah. The
Me
pacing
too.
myself plan,
We're figuring this
kind of
out.
working, yeah. It's only taken us like 4 seasons.
Yeah, no. We're figuring it out.
I can see a soda machine over there. A
Yeah.
free refill is still a thing in America, because that's like not a thing we do in the UK.
Yeah, it's always been a thing. I didn't know it wasn't a thing until I left this country.
That's quite nice.
So you guys don't have that?
No, we do not. If you get another cup of soda, you're paying for it.
Do you ever find yourself getting to the end and be like, I should have gotten the large?
I usually just play it safe and order the large.
Gotcha.
There's a couple of exceptions. Nando's lets you refill your own drink.
Wow. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's why Nando's is doing so well.
Hey,
Oh,
thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So this is a Grimace shake.
It's not a grimace. Did you have the grimace shake?
I did, yeah.
I never had it, so why don't you taste it and tell me how close it is?
Okay, I will.
It's so good. No way grimace shake tasted this good.
No, yeah, this is way better. The Grimace shake was like the most artificial berry flavor you've ever tasted in your life. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a crazy looking burger.
Yeah. All right, so we got the Royale. This is the one I was talking about pastrami. And also got us a regular, a cheeseburger. Well, I'm gonna look at the size of it, right? Forgot to mention this burger also has chili on it.
Yep.
But
you conveniently withheld that information.
Oops, and bacon.
I have what I will say is an above average size mouth. And I don't think I can get nearly
Come
all
on,
of
I think
this
you can do it. Come on.
in one bite. I'm
All
gonna
right,
try.
I'm gonna try it.
Oh my god.
This is like, how ridiculous is this? This is so good. The pastrami is incredible here, but with the bacon and the chili, this is so incredible.
Well, ridiculous is the word that comes to mind. This is absurd. They've been like generous with, oh my god, look at the juice just pouring off that.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Jeez, meat waterfall. They've been like generous with all of the toppings. So not only is there like a bunch of stuff in here, but all of it is in quite a healthy dose. Like look at the pastrami, there's like a solid like inch of pastrami in there. I do think that while I've enjoyed the individual components of this burger, I think this is slightly too much for me. And there's just like, there's a lot going on with all the different flavors. Some of them are working together. I think the pastrami in the burger is good. I think the addition of the chili has maybe taken that slightly over the edge for me.
Okay, I could see that.
Would you agree?
No, but I could see why you would think that.
That's fair. I also just think like, particularly with the chili, when it's an ingredient that's that like wet and sloppy, quite difficult to eat without it just completely falling apart.
And also the pastrami is pretty juicy.
It is, yeah.
It's a
Very
juicy
tasty.
burger.
Again, everything's in there is tasty, just maybe scale it back slightly. I think we should try the regular cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It's slightly more approachable. I can actually probably fit all of this in my mouth. So
I take the pickles out.
you gotta get with the pickles at some point, man. This actually
This is so big.
It's thick. I'd say in terms of like the structure and assembly and ingredients, this pretty closely represents the pie and burger one.
Yeah, pretty close, yeah.
Basically their version of that with the Thousand Island, the onions, lettuce, tomato.
Right?
It's fine to do a burger that's like a little bit out there, a
Yeah.
little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But I think to earn the right to do that, you have to be able to do the basics well.
Fantastically put, yeah.
They definitely are doing the basics well.
Yeah.
That's really, really
Isn't that
tasty.
really good? Yeah.
Man.
Oh man, time to wash that down with one of these bad boys.
Happy birthday, Grimace.
Stop it. I'm going to town in this shake. This is so good, right?
It is really good. I'm trying to like think of things to compare the flavor of ube to, but it's really tough. I think there's obviously some other stuff, like there's like vanilla in here, but the ube itself is given quite like an earthy, rich flavor.
Okay. The day's starting to hit me.
That was really sudden. I feel like you just
I just suddenly hit a wall, but I'll
hit the
power
tip.
through it. So, Burger Lords, you can see right here, has a really great plant-based burger that I love. And since they sell it here, I thought we're not visiting Burger Lords, but we can try this patty here, just to see what you think. I think it's really great. I really love Burger Lords. I go there a lot, even though I am not clearly a plant-based eater. But I like it a lot, and it's here, so thought you would try it and see what you think.
Absolutely, man. I'm open-minded. I like the collaboration between the burger chains as well. I'm seeing a lot of like pulses in there.
A lot of what?
Like pulses.
Pulses?
Yeah, you know how that like beans and pulses, grains and pulses, like lentils and stuff.
Oh. How good is that? I love it. It's so good, so flavorful, right?
That's really good. They haven't like gone full kind of fake meat.
Right, correct.
It's more like they've just taken a bunch of other delicious things and kind of crammed them all together. It's a really, really tasty mix. I'm getting like quite a lot of mushroom from that, some lentils, some onions, some peppers.
I love how you can get both of these under the same roof.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's like good that it's a space that, like you say, can cater to people who, love meat and people who might not love meat or just want to reduce the amount of meat they want to eat, but
There you go, good
don't want
point.
to compromise on flavor.
Yeah, still want something that tastes good. Yeah. And come to the Youngster. Well, good news. We've got one more place to go. And we're going to head there right now.
Yep.
After that, we are done. All right, one more, let's rally and let's go.
Okay, we can do one more.
All right, let's go.
So whereabouts are we now, Joe?
Okay, this is Father's office in the downtown Los Angeles area of Los Angeles, California. Now the distinction is there's three. There's another one in Culver City and I believe another one in Santa Monica. They have a fantastic burger I want you to try. That's why we're here. And also, they got a beer selection.
I knew you had an ulterior motive for bringing us here, man. We've eaten lots of burgers. I think we've earned a beer.
I think we've earned a beer.
That's fine.
And it's late enough to where my drinking isn't uncomfortable for my coworkers.
Yes.
I mean, I could have started at 11. I could have cracked one open at Pie and Burger, but society is all like, you got to wait till you're not working anymore.
I speak on behalf of the rest of the crew when I say we appreciate your restraint.
Yeah, where's my plaque?
You're all good.
On this spot, Joe Avella, restrained from getting drunk in the middle of the day.
We'll get you a plaque next
It's a plaque
to
of me going like this from beer, like, no. And, and it's right in the middle of the type.
We'll get you a plaque like on a freeway next to a Wells Fargo or something. I like the vibe around downtown. It feels much more like a city. I feel like the other ones we've been more in the sort of like neighborhood, I guess, areas of LA. Whereas this one, we're kind of in the midst of things here.
Actually, Father's office is one of the first drinking establishments to completely ban smoking. They did it way before the ordinance, like in 1991. And shout out to them.
Yeah, I'm not a smoker, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Were you able to go to pubs, as you call them, when you could still smoke inside of them?
When I was little, I wasn't of drinking age, but I used to like occasionally go into a pub with my parents.
It was the absolute. I smoked it even. I was like, we have to stop this. This is a nightmare. Yeah. So we're getting the burger here. The Office Burger is one of the signature menu items. This thing is supposed to be incredible. I personally have not had it yet, but I've heard nothing but great things. It was named the best burger in America by both the Today Show and Esquire magazine.
In America, not just in LA.
Right.
Damn.
And Esquire magazine. Remember magazines?
I do, yeah. Those physical newspaper things.
We used to print out the internet and you had to carry it with you? Yeah.
What a dumb idea.
According to Yelp, it's the best burger in LA.
Okay. So it's got the voice of the people backing this one, as well as Esquire magazine.
That's right.
I mean,
Esquire print publication.
Of course. We're covering all the bases here. That's a lot of praise. High expectations.
Yeah. Dry aged beef, caramelized onions. I know you're a big onion head.
I am.
Gruyere cheese, applewood, smoked bacon. And arugula, this was on a soft roll.
Okay, interesting.
Sound good?
So like a slightly fancier burger maybe than we've had so far today.
Load Serrano's my guy, fancier. But you know what, the price isn't so bad.
$21.
So, not cheap.
No.
But upscale place.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to wait and see, obviously, make my own call, but $21 for a burger of that pedigree.
Yeah.
Using the word pedigree again. I'm excited, and I don't think it's too bad. I think we should order.
Okay.
I also think we should take advantage of their very wide beer selection.
Yeah, what do you want to get?
Some kind of lager.
I'll get two lagers and I'll get two burgers. All right.
Sounds great.
BRB.
Ooh.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Extra napkins. Enjoy.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much.
A few notes here. Not your standard burger.
Yeah, I guess not.
Not your everyday burger. It's
nice.
more almost like a sort of hero roll.
Yeah, shaped like a sandwich.
Like long sandwich bun. Toppings, different to some of the other ones we've had today.
Definitely.
They've not skimped on the arugula, or rocket as we call it.
You guys call it rocket.
We do call it rocket.
And I've been told by another British person it's because it's kind of spicy.
I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, arugula is spicy to you guys, isn't it?
Our poor British palates can't handle a leaf.
Yeah.
I love the look of the beef. They asked us how we wanted it cooked.
Yeah.
First time today.
First and only, yeah.
Which is much more of like a steakhousey thing. And I don't know, for me that just signifies like attention to detail.
I was going to say the same thing, attention to quality.
They're paying attention.
Yeah. Dude, this is so good. Oh, wow. Oh my God, I've been eating burgers all day. I think I'm going to finish this.
Made taco cheese is a type of blue cheese, right?
Mhm.
Also, it's a Gruyere. The cheese blend is incredible.
Yeah.
I know
Mhm.
you did point out there's a lot of arugula, but I would argue to say I don't think there's enough. The arugula paired with this, fantastic, dude. This
Really
burger
good.
is incredible. Are you kidding me?
This beef is sensational.
Now I want to point out this burger was the only one we had today that was cooked over an open flame, and I am noticing that difference. I do like a flat top, obviously. You know, I'm all about that, but it really brings out the flavor of the fact that this was cooked on a grill.
You can see the like grill marks on it. I do love the sort of like textural contrast and flavor contrast you get from the grill marks,
Yeah.
the like slightly charred bits.
But they also, like we said, medium rare, right? That is perfectly medium rare.
That's a perfect medium rare.
If it wasn't for the show, I would have gone rare. Just because, like, I like living dangerously.
I'd say this has by far the most complicated flavors
Yeah.
of any burger that we've had today.
This thing's on another level.
Yeah, they've taken the concept of a hamburger or a cheeseburger, and they really have, like, I think, elevated each element. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to change the formula.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned that you're not allowed to. Another thing that this place is famous for is no substitution. So you can't change it. You can't put anything else in there. You can't add a little this and that. No ranch, right? Not doing it. And then they get a little spicy with you too, if you ask. Like if you look at the bad reviews this place has gotten, it's everyone being like, I wanted them to put this on instead of that, and they got yelled at me. Like, good, you should get yelled at, right? Eat the thing the experts made. Just knock it off.
Right? They're the experts. Let them handle it.
Thank you.
I put my trust in them,
Yeah.
and they've delivered in this
Yes,
case.
they have delivered, absolutely. And I think it's interesting because the other burger places we've gone to today, they're definitely have an emphasis on the efficiency of like get your food and go. You know, not anything wrong with that, but definitely places that kind of have this like you got it, enjoy your meal and go. This feels more of a considered burger, and also this environment of they got a full bar over there, so hang out, have a drink, have a burger, have a couple more drinks, a couple more burgers.
Spend your whole evening here.
You guys spend the whole evening here. So what's the rush?
I think this kind of like almost pushes the boundaries of what a burger can be. Because obviously, I think at its core, a burger is a bun on either side, meat in the middle, and then you can kind of build from there. But even like the bun, they've kind of slightly changed. The meat almost tastes and feels more like a steak in the way it's kind of like cooked to order. The quality is really great. The rocket on there is like very unusual. I'm not sure I've had rocket on a burger before. Arugula. Caramelized onions I've definitely had and I love, but like the cheese blend as well. I do just love American cheese. I still think that's kind of like the benchmark cheese for a burger. There are times when I've had burgers with other cheeses on them before, and I think it hasn't worked. I think with this one, it definitely works. It's like clearly thought has gone into balancing the flavors.
Yeah. Well, we've had 4 fantastic cheeseburgers today, but we have to decide on our favorite. I'll just run it through real quick. We start with Pie and Burger, classic institution, been there for a long time. That burger has been how it's been for decades. They perfected the formula. It's big, juicy, fantastic meat. We love the sauce, the veggies on the burger, so good. After that, made a stop over at Goldburger. They're doing smash burgers, maybe the best smash burger in the city. I would say it is, if not, definitely top 3, but almost like a 180, just the meat, the cheese, some onions, nice and slim. We went to town on that burger. Remember how good that was? After that, Oyster, pastrami and meat and cheese and chili and bacon. Come on. And also their standard cheeseburger, incredible. A little bit closer to like the Pie and Burger type burger where it just was a lot of veggies and a real thick one, but so good, right? And of course, Father's Office, we just gushed about it for 10 minutes, don't gotta recap. But if you had to pick only one as your favorite, Harold, which would be your favorite burger in Los Angeles?
Well, Joseph.
Yep.
Coming into this, before we got here, Goldburger for me was clear.
Wow,
I think
okay.
that was probably the best smash burger I've ever had. And I think if anyone was coming to LA and wanted a good old-fashioned LA smash burger, I think that is where I would send them.
Goldburger's the spot, I agree.
However, I think Father's Office might have swooped in at the
number one
last
for you?
second and taken the #1 spot, just because I don't think I've had anything like this before.
Yeah.
It's so tasty. Every element is so finely crafted, finely balanced. It all works together so well.
Yep.
And yeah, I think it might not be a traditional cheeseburger, but damn, is it a tasty cheeseburger.
It's a fantastic burger, and I'm going to go ahead and agree with you.
Yeah.
This is the best burger we've had today.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Goldburger was winning for me, but this thing's incredible. So, and it just barely beat it out. But just a little bit more of an attention to the cook of the meat, the cheese and onion toppings, just so good. Yeah, I know it's a higher price point, but I definitely think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think the value of all of these has actually impressed me quite a lot. Like I thought LA would be way more expensive.
Yeah.
Actually, these have all been, I think, pretty reasonable for the quality and the flavor that you're getting. Yeah, would happily recommend all of them to anyone, but this is probably the number one for me.
Fantastic. Guys, I am on my way to a taco truck that's just north of Los Angeles called Birria San Marcos. I'm almost certain I pronounced that wrong, and I apologize.
Birria San Marcos. A birria taco is a type of meat that has been in a broth for many hours, 6, 7, but it's just a tender meat that has been cooked for a while.
The reason I'm going is because I saw on Instagram they have something called Birria Tacos. I personally am not familiar with them, but they look absolutely incredible. I'm on my way right now. I'm going to meet up with my buddy Nick. We have this tradition where we only eat food that's like super wet. Oh, and Sydney's driving.
So we separate the meat from the broth. We warm up the tortillas with the same broth that we have for the birria. And then we start making the tacos and we juice them up. It was something different for me. I've been in the business for a while, my family, and I just wanted to bring something different to it. Different taste, you know. A lot of people were like, how are you gonna eat birria with cheese? You know, and you mix it up and it's awesome.
Oh boy, it's a juicy one. Yes, sir. I mix it all in?
Yeah, mix it all in.
All right, so he's telling me that the good consomme ratio to taco is 4 tacos for 1 cup. Yeah. All right, that is what I will have. Nick, I want to thank you again for joining me. By the way, I think we might have gotten too much food.
I don't think we did get too much food.
I want these guys to park in front of my house. I want this every day for the rest of my life. This is the best taco I've ever had. This is the best taco I've ever had in my entire life. I can't believe how good these are. You're like you're about to cry.
It's that good. Every part of me instantly started reacting to this. Oh, everything's perfect.
I cannot stress how delicious this meat is because how everything works together. Okay, this is a juicy one. Oh. This is so hot, Sid. I can't do it.
Do the other one.
Oh, man.
What was too tough for Joe to tear today? Tortilla.
Yeah. Look at my hands.
I like to dip my taco in the consomme. Dip it, extra juicy. Traditionally, the birria is made with goat, but you know, we can make it with beef, we can make it with chicken.
I wonder what it would be like, if it would taste better if it was made with goat or lamb. How is a goat and a lamb related? What's the difference between the two?
I mean, through marriage sometimes.
Is a lamb a baby sheep? Is that what that is?
I don't have any idea. You're asking me like I have a lot of sheep knowledge. Well, because I grew up on a farm.
Do you know what the difference between a lamb and a goat is?
The lamb and the goat, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so anyway, it's originally made with goat.
Tucked away in the city of Glendora, California, is a small donut shop that's always busy. Locals come in for their daily coffee and donut, but there's one thing that brings people from near and far to the Donut Man. The famous strawberry donuts.
Yum. This is delicious.
We really love it. It's really good. It's really delicious.
That was the best.
I got it everywhere, but
Really good.
This is my first time having this donut. Just the fresh strawberries are really, really good. And the glaze. It's definitely worth getting messy for.
Jim Nakano opened the Donut Man in the spring of 1972, but it wasn't until 2 years later that one fruit changed his business.
Well, the reason we got into it, my wife says, let's go for the American dream. In about 1974, a friend of ours who grew strawberry, because this area was all strawberries. On the other side of the hill, you know, that was all strawberries. But in '74, he came to me and said, Jim, you got to come up with the strawberry donut. He said, I got so much. He said, I'll supply you whatever you want. So we said, okay. And I had another friend that said, I'll help you make the glaze and everything, because he had a bakery and all that. As soon as we tried that, we realized that we had a good product. You could use it for the morning breakfast. It's a good snack, lunch, or dinner dessert.
The shop makes hot donuts 24/7. They use potato flour and live yeast when prepping batches of dough. How long the dough proofs and fries for depends on the temperature and humidity inside the shop each day. The team mixes fresh strawberries with homemade strawberry jelly filling before stuffing a generous amount into the donut. The strawberry donuts are only served from February to September, so we had to see what all the hype was about.
We're gonna get some donuts, we're gonna get some donuts. They have the classic chocolate swirls, they have their peach donuts, but I'm here for this bad boy, the strawberry donuts. So a lot of people drive here from all over California to try these donuts. There's been a line out the door since we came, so let's dig in. I'm just gonna go for this one. They're all gonna make a mess, whatever. Ooh, yes, it is glazy. This is gonna be a mess. Look at that. It's like a burger full of strawberries. But it is good. The donut's nice and crispy on the outside, which is pretty good. I love how it has kind of this like good texture on the bottom, if that makes sense. But it's not too sweet. It's not like an overwhelmingly sweet donut. My biggest piece of advice is use a fork. Don't do what I did.
Not only is the Donut Man famous among locals, but we met people from all over the state who came down to try it for themselves.
Well, it was bookmarked on my Yelp for 3 years, so I was like, one day I'm gonna go. Came to Torrance, and then from Torrance we came to Glendora. And we're like, where's Glendora? Definitely gonna get the fresh peach and the fresh strawberries, and then I'll see what else is on the menu.
I've been coming here for years. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are on our road trip to San Diego, so.
Yeah, a little road trip food.
We're craving donuts.
When's the first time you had one?
Honest? When I moved here, probably 22 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
If you eat it with a fork, you don't blend all the flavors.
That's true. Never thought
This
of it.
is a true blend of all the flavor.
I remember coming here in high school after like the pep rallies and stuff. People would come and hang out in that parking lot back there, and so it's definitely like the go-to area in Glendora, I would say.
We're very lucky because when I started this store, I told my wife we wouldn't be that big of a store because we're such a small community and all that. I would say 60 to 70% of our customers come from more than 7 miles away, and that's unusual.
When you come to Out Tacos, you come just for tacos. You don't come for comfort. You don't come for like any kind of restaurant amenities. You're here for the tacos, and you eat tacos any way you can.
We're at Avenue 26 Tacos in Lincoln Heights. Over the past few years, this taco spot has amassed a large following, sometimes having lines around the block. Look how crazy it is over here.
I come here about 2 to 3 times a month, I'll say. I'll make the drive out here from the valley all the way here just to get some tacos. I got al pastor and I also got buche. So this one's the buche right here, but the al pastor I already ate.
Javier from LA Tacos is going to be joining me, and we're going to find out why Avenue 26 Tacos are so great.
We are at Avenue 26 Tacos. It is arguably one of LA's most famous taquerias in the street. We are in the neighborhood of Lincoln Heights. They've been doing this for a long time. They've been doing this for, I think, over 15 years. And they've been consistent about it. Their taco is suadero, which is braised beef brisket, almost like carnitas, but it's beef. So I feel this spot fulfills the need of, when you have friends who don't know about the spot, you bring them here and you tell them, hey, I know this like secret spot, and it's, it's hidden, it's not on the main street. And so it's a thrill. It's a certified taco thrill. Now, because of the tacos, there's, I think, 7 vendors, everything from like churros to esquites to pizza now, like brick oven pizza. So it's street food city. So usually when you see a flat side grill like that, they're usually gonna have the standard, which is suadero, al pastor. They're gonna have tripa, buche. Tripa is the intestine. Buche is like the lining around pork belly. And they'll have some version of a carne asada that will be grilled. So that's kind of like the general LA style of like street tacos that started like in like the 80s to late 90s. And that style is really iconic LA taco.
All right, you wanna get some tacos?
Let's go get some tacos, man.
Let's do it.
Taco life. So what I look for in a taco is the swoon factor is what I call it, right? Like that taco euphoria that you feel when you get a bite, So you get like a nice tender fatty meat. People forget that a tortilla amounts to 50% of a taco experience. Don't forget that like a taco cannot be a good taco without a good tortilla. Yeah, but I also look for like uniform textures in like onion, cilantro, to see that it's limes and not lemons. There's a lot of little factors that account in like the overall taco experience.
So just off the bat, while we're waiting in line, like what tacos are you thinking about getting?
So I'm for sure gonna get the suadero because that's what they're known for here, and it's actually a taco that's relatively hard to find in LA. You're not gonna see it everywhere. Again, it's a braised beef brisket and fat, and it's just slow and tender, and it's delicious. I'm also gonna get al pastor because you have to. I like to call that a category F5 meat tornado. A mí me das uno de suadero, por favor.
Can I do the one that was your favorite? Can I do the intestines one? And let me do pastor. And what was some other, what I missed?
The suadero.
Yeah, suadero,
Yeah. And you know what? I'm feeling crazy. Una más de cabeza, por favor.
How many did you get?
I got 4.
And I got 4?
Yeah, I got 4.
Right, okay, so go with that 4. Let's do it. Okay.
Gracias, eh?
It's $1. It's like the best deal in LA.
Yeah, you can't do cheaper.
Thank you.
So, if you're in the know, you go and ask for a potato. And
yeah, this thing over here, it's like cooking oil, right? Or butter or lard, what is that?
Some people use lard, some people use oil.
Okay.
That's if they give us their secret. But they drop in a potato in there, and it just like cooks until it's buttery and
I want one.
Like beautiful. So
I want a potato.
Let's get a potato. This is why this place is special. Like, there aren't many other places in LA that will like give you a freaking potato. If you're here and you're happy to spend like $1 per taco, and you get a potato while you're at it. So before we eat, I know we're starving, but there's one final touch that if you see it in a taqueria, get it. It's like the caramelized onions that are actually fried or grilled in the own beef fat of the actual tacos, or the pork fat. Not all taquerias have it, but if they do, just go and get it. And it's right here, yeah. So yeah, it's literally like caramelized onions or grilled onions that like, I mean, raw onions in a taco is amazing, but grilled onions, it just adds another layer of richness to it, like.
Do you normally put like salsas
Of course,
or sauce?
A taco without salsa is just.
Was that a stupid question that I just asked?
I think that was a very stupid question, but don't worry, man.
Okay, good.
It's good. Before we add any salsa, definitely get some limes to make sure that the lime juice actually hits the meat and the tortilla before the salsas, because you get more flavor that way.
Okay.
It adds a nice little layer of like refreshing acid, like what you need when you're eating these fatty meats. And last but not least, because vegetables and fiber, baby, get some radishes. I like to get a couple just to say that I've had some vegetables today.
Oh, okay.
Get like a nice little handful, and you also put some lime and salt on those, so you kind of create a quick pickle. You know, you gotta get some fiber in your body somehow. You know, so my rule of thumb is when all else fails, green.
Okay.
Because green is acid, tartness. If you can't hang any heat, usually the watery red ones are always going to be the best for you.
Let's try a little bit of heat. Put on this one.
Yeah, normally a taqueria will always have green, red, and a taqueria guacamole, which is like a thinner, watered down guacamole to have it be more saucy instead of gloppy. Sometimes the guacamole replaces the green salsa, or sometimes the green salsa replaces guacamole. Yeah, that's it, and then we're ready to eat, man.
All right, let's go eat. I'm starving, dude.
Let's go. Some people eat it inside of their car, sitting down in front of the steering wheel. Others prop the food down on the either in the hood of their car and just eat you have to have that 90-degree angle down so you don't get any salsa all over you.
The potato. It's been simmering in that oil for a while.
California used to be part of Mexico, and some people say that it never stopped being Mexico because some tacos, the tacos that you get here, are so delicious and so close to what you would actually find in Mexico. Rule number one of finding good tacos is actually stopping and trying them.
That's a good point.
Because there's so many here in LA. Your first reaction to when you drive by or walk by a taqueria is you look it up online to see reviews or something. But I'm telling you, screw all that. Just stop and have a taco and see if you like it personally. And you'll be surprised. Sometimes you'll find some great spots that haven't really been written about or celebrated as much. Street food in LA is there to serve its immediate neighborhood. And if you're lucky enough to drive by or walk by and you find and it smells good and it looks good and you see a crowd of people around it, stop by and try it. That's the best way you're gonna find out if it's good. The first taco that I always get at a spot that offers it is cabeza, because you can really learn a lot on how they treat their cabeza.
How's that?
Cabeza is steamed cow head. If you don't know if you're indecisive, I usually always go for cabeza because it's hard to mess up, and it's who doesn't love just tender stewed braised meat with salsa. Suadero is the hardest one to find in LA. It's like carnitas but with beef, so it's slowly braised in lard until it gets crisped up and it gets tender, and that's really hard to find. So that's actually really good here too. Just 2 months ago, in 2020, they finally legalized street food in LA. Through lots of outreach, people in LA who love street food got together and they fought for the rights of street vendors here. It took around a decade of work to work through the bureaucracy of the city to finally legalize street vending in LA. If you come to LA, some of your most happiest moments that you'll probably, or most memorable moments that you'll have when visiting the city is probably will be tacos after a show, or a bacon wrapped hot dog after, when you come out of a concert and you smell the smell of bacon. Street food is so essential to the city, and it took this long for the politicians to finally realize that and try to make change and make it legalized. So. People love to come to a taqueria and fulfill their need of a nice, greasy in a good way, just rib sticking taco. And these tacos fulfill that because it's a lot of meat. The salsa bar is there for you. You can put as much as you want and suffer as much as you want. And I think the number one thing about it is people love the concept of $1 taco. And this is one of the last standing taquerias in LA that still charge $1 per taco.
This is Rainbow Dango, bite-sized orbs of colorful, tender mochi. In a process similar to taffy, it's made every day, by hand, along with a selection of other wagashi, or Japanese treats.
I've never had mochi this good in my life.
Thank you, thank you. That's mochi.
Oh, this has been here forever, right? And it's the best.
LA's Little Tokyo is the heart of the largest Japanese-American population in North America. One gift that Japanese immigrants brought over with them is this cute little snack, mochi. Now we're visiting the oldest Japanese business in the country from the owner, who actually still makes mochi the way Grandpa did it. Let's go.
After all these years, Fugetsudo has earned many fans who adore their mochi's texture and taste.
Hi!
Hi, Crystal.
Tell me a little bit about Fugetsudo and how long you've been around.
Well, Fugetsudo is the oldest store here in Little Tokyo. We started in 1903. I am the third generation. Today we're making Sakura Mochi. It's our season. February and March we make Sakura Mochi for Girls' Day.
What do you use to make it?
Well,
what
we use
ingredients?
sweet rice and red bean. azuki beans, and we also are making a number of other items, some more decorative traditional mochi. Each one has a certain taste or a certain texture. So if you'd like to see, we're busy working right now, so come on back.
In the Forget to Dough kitchen, Brian Quito is more than a baker. He is a shokunin, or master craftsman, a title earned after at least 10 years of training. He's known for his traditional Japanese desserts, including yokon, a sweet bean jelly served over white bean-filled mochi, decorated and covered with gelatin. There's also ogura, an inverted mochi with the beans on the outside, topped off with a flour, also sealed with gelatin to keep it soft and shiny.
First of all, I am just impressed by how much manual work there is. Every single stage, there is someone pouring, cutting, manipulating, mixing, stirring, moving something from one table to another. I mean, it's all done by human hands and human labor.
Forget to Dough is known for their rainbow dango. It starts with a base dough that's steamed and mixed with sugar. The mochi is edible at this stage, but it's not rainbow dango yet. Food coloring is folded in by hand and shaped into long pieces that wrap the white mochi. Now it's ready to be rolled out, section by section. Each tube is finally laid in a wooden mold, but before that, getting them to be just right takes some effort.
It's a workout. Okay, my arm is tired, my shoulder's tired. I have truly never eaten mochi until today. Like real mochi.
Oh.
Yeah, so good. This is just, it's a joy to eat because the texture is just something that you don't find in nature. You gotta make it.
I've been in the business for 44 years, full-time.
Now, given that you've been doing this for a long time and it's a family business, have you had any tools or special equipment that's been passed down?
Yeah, we do. We have some molds that have been passed down even from my grandfather's days, but because of the internment during World War II, a lot of the stuff from my grandfather doesn't exist anymore, that they've lost.
After internment, Brian's mom and dad struggled to rebuild from nothing, but they soon got back to producing their legendary mochi with a little bit of help.
Corey, my son, he's shown interest in taking it over, and so we're preparing for him to be the 4th generation. He's been here for now a year and a half apprenticing while he's in college.
You have 5. Yeah, 3 more. 3 more.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
Is he the young man that looks like you walking around?
He's the one that almost looks as good looking as Dad. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's so fragrant. Oh, it smells so good. Even not to eat it is a treat.
You just can't find this anywhere else, and it's fresh. It's not like dry. The mochi itself has a taste, which complements whatever's inside of it.
I'm in my 3rd bite. This texture is unbeatable. Mmm.
Oh, it's the mochi place.
Mm. It is the mochi place, and it's really good. Yay!
A beautiful sunny day in Los Angeles, and here we are at Nick's Cafe.
Yeah, I've really brought the weather with me. I'm sorry about that one.
That's okay. All right, here's the game plan. Today, I'm taking you to 3 of the best diners in Los Angeles, all right? Nick's, another famous LA institution. Inside, they only have 25 seats around the counter. The wait is currently about 10 people deep, and I want to eat now, so we've grabbed this table instead.
That works. Wonder why no one was sitting out here today.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm sad that we're not fully experiencing the ambiance, but like we've had a look around inside. It's a really cool spot.
Yeah.
Only 25 seats. Why is this such a popular spot?
This has been here since 1948 and has pretty largely been untouched the whole time it's been here. Opened, unsurprisingly, by a gentleman named Nick. Nick eventually sold it to 2 homicide detectives, so this became the hangout for police and Department of Water and Power employees.
Okay.
So they kept this place going through all the hard times.
Fed up of cracking cases, wanted to
right.
crack eggs instead.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the place to go.
Yeah, that has like its own, like, not a sitcom, but a TV show, like 2 cops. They're sick of the hard cop lifestyle. Yeah. So open this diner, yet for some reason every week they get pulled into a case.
Some murders keep happening.
Just say, here's a little more coffee. This guy be like, man, I tell you, this string of burglaries nobody can solve. And the guy's like, puts his hat on. Yeah.
I'd watch that. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
they're known for doing diner classics, but elevating them. The thing we got to try today is Nick's famous ham and eggs.
Okay.
So it's bone-in ham, hand-carved, brown sugar glaze.
That sounds good. We have a lot of like ham, egg, and chips in the UK, or gammon, egg, and chips in the UK. Really interested to see like the American spin on that.
Again, this has appeared in a lot of TV shows like NCIS, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
Great shows, cop shows, by
Keeping
the way.
the cop theme going,
Keeping the cop theme going.
I'm a Brooklyn Nine-Nine guy, so that's exciting.
I actually love that show. It's actually very funny.
Really funny.
We're going to do an order of the famous ham and eggs. And then I also want to do the huevos rancheros. Yeah. And then you want to try biscuits and gravy?
Yeah, please, just biscuits and gravy.
Any other specialties you think we should try here?
I mean, you got pretty much the good hitters.
Yeah. So we figured, yeah. Awesome. Well, then we got the top three. Awesome. Well, thank you. All right, so you've been in America for 10 days now? How's Los Angeles been treating you?
It's been good. I've spent a lot of time in cars.
Yeah.
I kind of expected that. Went to the Griffith Observatory yesterday.
Oh, what'd you think?
Which is pretty cool.
It is cool, right?
Great view. Got kind of lucky with the parking as well.
No way.
Rolled up.
I told you. Wow,
Yeah.
so you guys got cavalier with the parking?
You warned us off it. Kind of sorted us out.
So you got a good spot.
We did.
That's
Great
honestly,
spot.
one thing about Los Angeles is getting a great spot where you're going is like as celebrated as anything else you're doing that night. When people will be like, dude, I'm parked right in front, it's like, wow! That itself is its own reward. I'm not kidding. Cherish that.
We've been really lucky
Cherish
so far.
that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hey.
Yeah, just put it right
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah, give it to him, yeah.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Dude, you can, yeah, just put it over here.
Yeah, we'll split.
Great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Oh my God, I'm gonna eat the out of this. Are you kidding me? All right, I can't even wait. I gotta try
man.
a piece of ham. Ah,
That looks ridiculous. How big is that leg of ham?
is this how big ham legs get?
I
This
guess
round?
so. Maybe at the upper part.
Yeah,
That's
this
like,
might
that's like thigh,
this
right?
might be of a person. They might have hunted a man for sport for this, and I'm all for it. Huevos rancheros. You got eggs, meat, and beans in there, and they're gonna have like their own like Mexican.
Oh, we got like
yeah.
chilies underneath.
Yeah, dude.
So would you put this kind of in the like Tex-Mex style of cooking, I guess?
So I would. To me, Tex-Mex is basically Mexican food that feels like it's been a bit Americanized, and that's not a diss to it, but, right?
The beef is like so tender.
Are you kidding me? That's so amazing. This cheese on top, oh my God.
You get like the hard cheese. There's like some American kind of orangey cheese as well.
Save some room, because this ham is no joke. It is absolutely, so they hand carve it. It has a brown sugar glaze. It's absolutely fantastic.
I got like a real like maple syrup sweetness to
Yeah,
that.
it's got brown sugar glaze to it. Now try these hash browns. I know it just looks like regular hash
I
browns.
will do, yeah.
Okay. Let me see what
Wow,
it is.
yeah, it's just like shreds of potato.
Yeah. I personally like the shreds
Yeah.
because I feel that the potato gets cooked more. It's not as like thicker, as denser, so you can eat it a lot faster. But you get a lot of more. There's a crispy flavor on the outside. Yeah, I really love the shredded.
Yeah, more room for browning. Yeah, the huevos ranchero is sensational. That's incredible. Like, very different to anything that you would find on a British cafe menu.
Yeah.
I will say that. Oh yeah, I gotta try the salsa as
try
well.
salsa, there you go.
Homemade salsa.
Ketchup on this, yeah. I mean, the ham here, you know they do it right because the signage is all pig stuff. But yeah, there's like the open sign is a outline of a pig. So, I mean, you know there's something right when they're like, pig is here. Now, you got to save room because we also have briskets and gravy. Something that you have very little experience with, right?
Very little experience with this. Do you know what actually is like in American style gravy?
So there's sausage in this gravy, she mentioned that.
Sure.
Now, when they mix that with flour, it almost creates like this, I think the word is a roux, like a thick sauce.
Yes.
And that causes for the color. There's also milk in there as well.
Sure.
So I think the best way to describe it is it's a sausage gravy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the concept.
Yeah.
And these are on biscuits, which are kind of like scones, but not quite.
No. There's nothing like scones.
Okay. They look a lot like scones.
This is so good. You're gonna love it. Oh God, you're gonna love it. Right? What do you think?
Yeah, not like a scone.
Yeah, I know, not like a scone. I'm telling you, and all of your UK counterparts for 4 years now, it's not a scone.
It's a lot more like bready, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's butterier.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Buttery and bready.
Yeah. But with the gravy?
Yeah, I think it needs the gravy because they
Of
are
course.
quite dry on their own. But the gravy's good, really
Oh, the gravy's
flavorful.
fantastic,
You do get that
fantastic.
like pork sausage taste from it.
Yeah. And the American sausage, they're like spicier. I feel weird telling you like our sausage is spicier. I want to imply that like it has like a heat to it. There's just more of a spice flavor to it than most of the sausages I had over in the UK.
I think maybe the baseline is pretty plain in the UK.
Okay.
You can easily find very flavorful herby sausages, but
Gotcha.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You ever heard of the term diner lingo?
No, I have not. What's that?
So, Diner lingo was kind of this thing where diners would abbreviate things because you should like shout orders a lot. So have different like nicknames for dishes or for things related to food, and just kind of took off. And it was popular for a while, but I honestly don't think anyone does it anymore. I'll give you some diner lingo I found on Wikipedia, and you tell me what you think it is. Okay,
Sure.
first thing, crackleberries.
No idea.
Eggs. Oh, this one's good. You ask someone to burn the British.
Oh, cup of tea? Cup of
Toast
coffee?
English muffins.
Sure, yeah.
Dog soup.
That doesn't sound appetizing. Coffee.
Water.
Yeah.
Oh God. Frog sticks. It's gonna make sense when I tell you what it is, and it's a bit rude.
French toast sticks?
Close. French fries. Hey, their thing's not mine. Sorry. Irish cherries.
Oh God, no idea.
Carrots.
What? Would never have gotten that one.
This next one's so stupid. Nervous pudding. Hey, give me a slice of the nervous pudding. What are you talking about there?
I'm trying to like do the mental math in my head to get there.
If something's nervous, what is it doing?
Shaking, milkshake.
Okay. No, called Jello.
Okay.
Shingles with a shimmy and a shake. By the way, I'll tell you what this is, and this is why this. I know why this slang didn't last. Okay,
Sure.
so you go, give me a shingles with a shimmy and a shake. You're asking for?
I don't want to eat shingles.
Okay.
Go on.
Buttered toast with jam, which is way shorter. Like you can't give something a nickname and it be longer.
No, way harder to say.
That's why the Cockney rhyming slang. He's up the apples and pears. Just stairs. Just say stairs.
Just say stairs. Yeah.
Yeah. Slang doesn't work if it's longer.
If it takes more
Period.
time.
If it's longer, it doesn't work.
I gotta say, I think the perfect bite of this plate.
Yeah.
One of the best bites of food I've actually had on this trip so far.
The entire trip.
The entire trip, not just
Wow.
the episode. Yeah, that is a fantastic dish.
High praise. And to anyone watching this out of order, we haven't done the taco episode yet.
Not that I was expecting, poor quality food.
Yeah.
But I think the preconception with places like diners, with cafes in the UK, anywhere with just like a really big menu, is that maybe they end up like stretching themselves a little bit thin. They're cooking a lot of stuff, but they're not doing it like super well. However, this has kind of changed my perception on that.
Good.
Sensational mouthful.
Yeah.
One of the best things I've eaten in LA, full stop so far.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only taking it to bangers, baby. I'm only taking it to the winners.
We are finding the best in Los Angeles, not the worst.
Obviously, just the two of us having our own bro brunch. We could just stay here all day, finish our place, head back to your Airbnb, watch a little Fast and Furious.
Wow.
But unfortunately, we are contractually obligated to continue filming this very episode, and I have another diner I want to take you to.
Okay, yeah, I've saved some room. I think we should go.
Let's go. We're gonna go check out Hollywood Boulevard. You'll see some stars on the ground. We're not getting out.
Sure. A little rainy for that.
Yeah, you'll get the vibe, I guess. Not gonna put anyone on blast, but when you walk down, you'll see some names. You're like, really, this guy?
Like who?
Yeah, a little bit of who and a little bit of like, man, they're giving them to anyone. It seems like.
In theory, if I were
what it
rich enough, could I get a star?
I think you also have to be like.
I'm Harry from Food Wars. I think I qualify for
There
a
he
Hollywood
is.
fame.
There's getting his own star.
Doing the like superhero landing pose.
Yeah, you know what's also interesting about it is that there's different categories. So movies, television, recording music, broadcasting, maybe a few others. And if you excel at more than one of those, you get a separate star for it.
Oh,
like
right.
Michael Jackson has, I think, 3. He definitely has 2, possibly 3.
When are they adding a category for niche internet micro celebrities?
That is so fun. Jeez, isn't that a squares on the sidewalks of Los Angeles to contain all the YouTube stars that potentially could be on it? That's so funny.
Could be you and me right next to like Addison Rae, dude.
I don't know who that is. Who's that? This is the Saugus Cafe, which is the oldest restaurant in this county. Been here for over 100 years, since 1886. That's over 100 years, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It was originally called the Saugus Eating House, and it was connected to a train depot across the street. You saw the train tracks when we were pulling in here. So they picked it up and moved it over here or something. And anyway, what do you think of the vibe?
I'm liking it, yeah. 1886, did you say? This is, by your standards, very old. Doesn't feel super, super old, but it feels like retro. A little bit like stepping back in time.
Ex-President Theodore Roosevelt ate here once, had the New York steak, and said it was splendid.
Okay, Big Teddy. If it's good enough for him, then it's good enough for me.
Possibly in this booth. I feel like this is probably a spot that someone campaigning through this area would go. Institution, Santa Clarita, salt of the earth people eat here. That's why I took you here.
I definitely am feeling salty after all the American food I've been eating.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
this trip so far.
Well, I got some bad news.
Oh, yeah?
This might be the saltiest day today.
Let's go.
So here's what I think we should get. First of all, New York steak and eggs. I mean, that's Roosevelt's order of choice. Also, did a chicken fried steak.
What is that?
It's fried chicken. No, it's a steak that's fried like chicken.
Okay, sure. I wasn't ever sure what the chicken fried bit was referring to.
You know fried chicken?
I do, yes.
It's that, but inside is a steak.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking, well, let's get side of bacon, side of sausage. We got eggs, so we got that covered. I'm also getting hash browns with the steak and eggs, probably with the chicken fried steak as well. So that's a pretty healthy meal, right? A couple cups of coffee.
Yeah, it seems like a sort of normal way to start your day.
Now, I wanted to give you kind of a little bit of a taste of different diners you can get in Los Angeles. Also, these three said yes.
Crucially.
So if there's any other diner that may or may not involve a big boy named Bob, we asked, Bob said no. Diners in LA, they kind of tie in like food, culture, history, community. So yeah, they are kind of a big deal here, and I wish I could take you to more, but a lot of them don't have email.
Yeah, it seems like an old school vibe.
Yeah, you would think when you go in there, you're like, I'm the guy from Food Tours.
They're like, oh, sir, right this way. Yeah,
no, but they're not. They're actually like, what is any of that?
I guess our closest equivalent would just be kind of like a cafe or like a greasy spoon type of vibe.
Yeah.
When we have the English breakfasts in London.
Sure.
That's probably like about as close as you're getting to a diner experience.
Mm-hmm.
I will say those are much more focused on breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tend to be open late,
Okay.
which I gather is kind of a diner thing in the US.
Yeah, some
you
of them
can
are
kind of
24
get.
hours, yeah.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, dinner. The menus are very different though. You wouldn't really be seeing things like chicken fried steak on the menu and a greasy spoon, for example.
Yeah, just about every diner you go to, the menu is like, they got amazing breakfast, and they've got killer burgers, and they also have pizza. Do you like pasta? They got that too. Pad Thai? Maybe.
If people are willing to buy it, we've got it.
A full bar. Did we mention Mexican food? Got that too. You know, that is a good point. They'll do just about anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that
awesome.
speaks.
Yeah.
I think it speaks to the skill of the chefs who work at these places that they can just pick any cuisine and be like, yeah, I can do that, and make a passable one. It's completely fine. It's funny coming to a diner having only really experienced them so far through Hollywood.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I'll use Quentin Tarantino as an example. Mm-hmm. Spent a lot of time in diners. And then at least his first first three movies, have key scenes, multiple scenes that take place in a diner, right? There's a lot of diner stuff in that. Diner culture really is in Hollywood a lot, because I feel that is directly related to a lot of people who make movies who live in Hollywood, got a lot of time on their hands, get sick of being in the studio apartments, go to a diner to kind of clear their head and maybe write and just get all you can drink coffee and kind of hang out. Hey, food's here. Fantastic, yes, awesome.
That is a thick
Thank
steak.
you.
Thank you.
This is what I'm talking about. If I'm doing the ordering this whole time, we're ordering bacon the way I want it. And already I could tell they did a possibly perfect job of exactly how I want it. It's crispy, it's dry. This is how you know. Right? Right?
It's almost more like a pork scratching. Okay, so talk me through what we've got here, Joe.
That's a steak. Those are eggs, right? Sausage. Possibly perfect bacon. You got the chicken fried steak. I got the shredded hash browns. You got home fries?
Home fries, yeah.
Everyone kind of does their potatoes differently. This is more common. I love the shredded and just kind of like cooked on the grill, so the crispy, I guess, shell.
With hash browns, if you order them in the UK, it's much more likely to be the kind of discs, like the McDonald's style of hash browns.
Yeah.
Whereas this just looks like a big kind of mass of shredded potato that they cook.
Yes, sir. Look at that. They shredded it and they just heap it on the grill.
I need you to help me with my egg literacy.
Sure.
In the UK, you ask for a fried egg.
Yes.
Maybe a poached egg.
Yeah.
Boiled egg.
Okay.
Or scrambled eggs. We have no concept of like over easy or sunny side up or all these things. Can you give me a quick rundown of what these are? I think I ordered over
See those
easy.
right there? You did.
Yeah.
Sunny side up. This is the sunny side, and it's up. It's pretty much you're cracking the egg on the grill, letting it cook. Over easy is this, but moments before it's ready to go, they flip it. So yolk is inside.
Yep.
But they cooked it on both sides. But they pretty much get it to where it's almost this, and then they flip it just so like kind of encasing it in there.
So I should still have a runny yolk.
Yeah, the runny yolk's inside of it. Yeah. Oh boy, this is like.
I'm learning a lot.
Oh man, you're gonna love it. Yeah.
I've never had a chicken fried steak before. I'm still slightly confused as to what it is.
Gonna get my iron for the day.
Damn. It's on the pink side. Still mooing. How do you think Teddy Roosevelt wanted it cooked?
I would think that he probably got it about this. This would be the Teddy Roosevelt cook. I mean, he was a world explorer, right?
Mm-hmm. Not afraid of a little blood.
Uh-uh. How's your chicken fried steak, my man?
Intriguing. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah?
Yeah, it tastes good. I'm not getting much steak flavor from that. I think it also might just be because it's covered in this gravy.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I'm tasting is the gravy.
Well, I was surprised to find out that you don't have that kind of gravy. And you guys don't really have breakfast gravy in general, right?
Uh-uh.
So I want you, when you're ready, to try some of the sausage. The sausage is great. Remember during the UK one, several times I was like, American sausage tastes different than UK sausage.
You did.
Has more of a distinct spice flavor to it. That's not a glass of wine, just eat it. What sausage in the UK tastes like? It tastes closer to that.
This, I don't mean this in a bad way. McDonald's breakfast sausage.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's like very, very similar flavor palette to that.
And so you get the bread, you dip it in the yolk, get it going.
Boom. There you go. Yeah, that's a perfect egg. I think we should swap bites of steaks.
Oh.
A1 steak sauce, almost like an American version of HP sauce, right? Like kind of savory.
Yes,
vinegary.
but not, I mean, I've had both. They're not very close. Well, you'll find out in a second.
Try a little bit.
No. Yeah? Yeah?
Ooh.
Yeah. It's got a tang to it, right? It is the premier steak sauce. Super popular, been around since the 80s. It's like, if you go to a place that serves steak, there's going to be A1 on the table. No question. Absolutely love A1.
Yeah, I like that actually. I actually don't think it's got as strong a taste as HP sauce, but I quite like that because I find HP can really overwhelm meats sometimes.
I guarantee that's in your, how your grocery stores have like an American aisle. Next to the fluff and the gushers, I guarantee there's an A1, bottle of A1, so probably not too hard to find.
I will say, like, it's a lot of food. Is it common to eat like a diner breakfast?
Yeah, it's very common.
Yeah.
Big plate of food. You know, they do feed you at a diner. And they're also giving a lot of bread, a lot of meat, and a lot of potatoes, which is like sleeping pill on top of sleeping pill on sleeping pill. For me, personally. I don't eat a ton of potatoes and bread and meat, and I'm like, let's get this day started. I ate that, and I'm like, all right.
Back to bed.
Yeah, exactly. It's hibernation season. So other people apparently can eat this well and then go work. I certainly can't. So for me, I only really hit the diners on the weekends or late at night.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Another thing I've seen in films, TV, free refills all the time.
All the time.
Is that a thing?
It's rare to have less than half a cup of coffee at your table if you're still eating. They'll keep filling up, keep filling up, keep filling it up. I want to point out that we're filming and we're isolated ourselves.
Yeah.
And she was coming by, and then we kind of we're like, no. So that's no criticism on this place. Normally, they would be overflowing with coffee, which is perfect for me because I can't drink enough of it.
It's not really a thing in the UK. Like, in general, even places with soda machines, it's usually accepted that you just get one, and
Why
that's
is that?
it. I don't really know. I guess from their perspective, it's like such a small cost, right? To just keep filling you up with like filter coffee. It's going to cost them pennies.
Yeah, nothing.
And might keep you around for like a bit longer, and you might order more food, so.
I don't think it's
sense.
that. I think it's just part of the experience of like always having a hot cup of coffee.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Just a nice
Yeah, I don't think they're like, I don't think it's a loss leader, the coffee.
If there were a place in the UK that just keeps filling up your tea, then I would be there all the time.
They wouldn't just give you like another like pot of hot water, not even like a new bag, just like more water?
Maybe a few places, but for the most part, if you order a beverage, you get that one cup, and then if you want another one, you have to order another cup and pay for it. Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds kind of rude, to be honest. Kind of rude.
All right. I could sit here, like you say, all day, get coffee refills, eat more and more, but I think we have more spots to hit, right?
Yeah, let's go.
People sometimes still doubt the fact that we do all these in one day.
Oh, really?
Which we definitely do.
Yeah.
And it really takes its toll by the end if you are putting all the food away.
Yeah, I'm a little beat, to be honest. Oh, God.
Yeah. I think that's why they give you free unlimited coffee refills, because otherwise you'd just be asleep at the table.
Right? I don't know anyone eats like this and then goes to work, man. I'm beat. Oy. We're at Norm's, right? I mean, you wanted a neighborhoody place. This is like in the heart of it. We had to drive through Beverly Hills to get here, right? I think this is West Hollywood. Yeah. Obviously, it's packed. But yes, menu's looking real nice. The chat is nice.
The chat's good. You got good chat.
Yeah. The banter I'm getting from this menu.
You're cracking on with this menu.
I'm cracking on with this menu for sure. What do you think?
I like the vibe in here. They're churning out the pancakes here. But like you say, it's like a family vibe. The waitress just came over and was like addressing the next family on the next table by name. Like, they know each other here.
Oh, nice.
It's a welcoming spot.
Interesting thing about Norm's that we're doing this now, this is actually their 75th anniversary. They've been going for a long time. Originally founded by a used car salesman named Norm. They had 23 locations, and this is the oldest surviving one.
23 locations is quite a lot. Popular spot, right?
Yeah, this was declared an LA historical monument, partially because of its architecture. And I may be pronouncing this wrong, but there's a type of architecture that's very popular in diners called, I believe it's Guji architecture, possibly Googie. It's the word Google, but replaced the L with an I.
Perfect.
It's very like car-focused, space age, but like Jetson era looking, what the past of the future was going to look like. It was a style that really boomed in the 50s and 60s, right? So then they were like, this is the future. Now we're like, oh, it's kitschy, it's the past. Go figure, right? But this has that look for it. And a lot of the Norm's restaurants were designed to look like car dealerships. Norm was a car dealer.
There you go. Paying homage to his origins.
Gonna get you some pancakes?
I would love some pancakes. I feel
some...
that's an American breakfast staple that we haven't really had yet.
Yeah, how often would you say you have pancakes in the UK?
Not very often. A lot of people seem to confine it to one day of the year
Why?
in the UK. What? We have this thing, you know Shrove Tuesday?
No.
It's a Christian thing.
What is it?
It's like part of the Easter festivities. It comes before Ash Wednesday. Shrove Tuesday.
Shrove.
Shrove.
What's Shrove mean?
I don't know exactly what Shrove means, but the idea of the day is that you kind of use up all of the like rich foods in your house before Lent.
That makes perfect sense.
Somehow, I don't know exactly how, this translated itself into Pancake Day.
So you can't have pancakes on Lent?
I think traditionally what you were giving up a lot of stuff. It was like, I'm going to give up like all nice foods.
Oh, so and pancakes were like the treat. So let's fill up on pancakes so you can't have them for a month.
Pancakes is like, we got loads of like eggs left over. We got to get rid of them all before Lent starts.
Oh yeah, okay.
What do? Chuck them in some pancakes. But all that goes to say, pancakes, not as much of a staple in the British diet, and definitely not found on typical breakfast menus.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, you should get pancakes here. No, we haven't had them yet, have we?
No, we have not. I'm very keen.
Definitely gotta have American pancakes, dude. That's like big breakfast 101.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking we're gonna get the lumberjack breakfast. It's got a little bit of everything, including pancakes. We'll also split a meatloaf. The meatloaf here is supposed to be ridiculous. Also, might throw a little waffle in the mix. Anything else?
No, that sounds pretty good. I don't think I've ever had meatloaf before. So
What?
I'm excited for it. It's not a commonly eaten thing in the UK, I know.
Man, you're in for a treat.
I feel like with that, with the breakfast, with the pancakes and the waffle, we're hitting all the boxes I expect from a typical American diner, so that sounds good to me.
We're eating. Do you want to get a couple of milkshakes?
Oh yeah, we're in a diner, we should get milkshakes. One vanilla milkshake for your boy, please.
So you're going to get vanilla?
I would love vanilla, yeah.
I'm probably going to get strawberry.
That's fine. Do you, Joe?
Thank you.
One thing I love is that you guys have this chef's sampler platter on the menu.
The chef recommended.
Apparently so, but it's basically just an array of fried stuff.
Yeah, the chef really likes his fried foods.
We love them too in the UK. Yeah. We would call this usually British tapas. It's become like a sort of cult thing where you just get like just a buffet of beige foods, basically.
Yeah.
Fry a bunch of stuff up. You have like chips in there, your onion rings, your mozzarella sticks, chicken nuggets, various other bits.
There you go.
Oh, thank you very much.
Still not used to these free refills. The 24/7 eatery is not that much of a thing in the UK, and I'm kind of sad because
why is that?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. There are like people who are awake at that hour, and I'm sure would benefit from a space like this.
I would think that it's not as common because of the cost of operations. Because I'm also thinking, whenever you see a late night spot portrayed in film and television, one key element is that no one's in there.
Sure.
And even though it is kind of an interesting vibe to be one of the only 4 people at a diner at 2 in the morning, I don't know how much that waitress has been there for several hours is making off of that dollar cup of coffee you're nursing. So it's probably too expensive? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, they're still doing it, so they're making it work.
Yeah, it must work on some level. I don't know. I just think it's cool to have like a space where, you know, you want to get out of the apartment at any hour, you can. Come to your diner, get a pretty cheap and affordable meal, free refills.
Oh man, the milkshakes are here.
Vanilla
Yep.
Thank you.
and strawberry.
Love that. So you get like a little refill.
You get the extra, right?
In the cup.
Isn't that nice?
Amazing.
Wow, this is a lot. So looking here, I mean, this is enough for 2, I think.
That's very good.
How's that one?
Very tasty.
No good?
I mean, it's basically just vanilla ice cream in a glass, so can't go too far wrong.
Sugar on the strawberry, man, that's fantastic.
You know it's good when it just like doesn't go back down
Oh
the
yeah,
straw.
look at that.
It just stays in the straw.
Can't confirm it's a thickness.
I think the closest we came to having diners in the UK is this place called Little Chef.
Little Chef.
Which was this chain of basically like highway side restaurants that would do kind of American diner style food. So you can get like a full English with the pancakes.
Wow.
Which was rare.
A full English breakfast with pancakes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or like the American or whatever it was that kind of would come with all the extra
you
stuff.
called it the American.
Yeah. think they've actually closed down now, which is kind of sad, because that was always a highlight of like a little family road trip when I was younger, was a little chef breakfast.
And a little chef.
That's about as close as we've come to having diners in the UK.
So it's a chain.
It was a chain,
Okay.
yeah. This is also a chain, right?
I think in theory you can call it a chain. I think it's mostly just in this area. When people say chain, I think like multiple states, multiple cities. The only like chains I can think of are like IHOP or Denny's, and I mean, I like this better than those places. I don't want to disparage those places, but I would think that Norm's has a specific Los Angeles je ne sais quoi that you're not going to get at those big corporate chains. Personally, I feel.
Hey, thank you.
That's in this.
Beautiful.
That's really good. Wow, dude.
Before I embarrass myself, can I just check that this is in fact maple syrup?
Yes, that is.
Okay,
I don't know if it's
good.
maple syrup, but it is syrup.
Because like seeing a jug like this on a table in the UK, not super common.
What
I
else do you
thought-
think it would be?
I was like, is this maybe honey to put in your tea?
No, definitely not.
Or is this like cooking oil for some reason? You guys love putting corn syrup on everything. You never quite know, but.
Well, take it easy.
Oh yeah. But
This is how we do it in America.
The size of these things,
Yeah,
man.
that's good, right?
They are huge.
That's a lot.
They're obviously American pancakes, so they're like kind of thick and fluffy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to eat them.
I went ahead with something a little more time appropriate. I got the meatloaf to put bacon on it. Happy to see that. And you notice these mashed potatoes, they kind of like made a little divot for the gravy.
Yeah. Also, I like that that gravy looks more like our gravy. I feel
Yeah,
more
they
at
got,
home
and they got
here.
gravy in the meatloaf. I mean, this
More
is just, I
familiar.
mean, come on, how great
What
does this look?
is meatloaf exactly? Because I'm still not quite sure.
Ground beef with other like seasonings and spices. And also, I think they use like egg to kind of keep it all together.
Sure.
And it's everyone's discretion what it is, but it is eventually looks like a big log of meat, and you just kind of cut it. But I know it's got like toppings on here, but if you kind of see, it is like of ground beef consistency.
Yeah,
See
okay,
that?
kind of like a giant meatball, tubular meatball.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I don't really taste like one because like the gravy's different and the spices, but yeah, a little bit like that.
I'm gonna go in for some pancakes straight away because I'm excited.
And
the
this
butter
meatloaf
in
is
there
awesome,
as well.
dude. You can get a little more gravy. This is where it's at, dude. This is where it's at.
The butter on here, like quite salty, works really well with the maple syrup.
It's a good mix, right?
Salt and sweet, man. Salt and sweet.
Wanna
Give me a
try
little.
some-
I'll
yeah,
take
yeah,
a little
yeah.
slice of meatloaf.
You bet. Your first meatloaf experience. It's not exactly like a meatball, but pretty close to it.
Yeah.
And you see like the mushrooms, how that would go with it. A bacon is always welcome on anything, but
The gravy's really good, actually. That's a lot closer to what I would associate with like a British-style gravy. You'd have that kind of with
we
your
have
roast
lots
dinner.
of different gravies here in the United States. Almost everything is a classic menu item you can find just about anywhere, but this is so good. This is like really, really good. I'm a big fan of all of this.
Let's try some breakfast staples because I
Yep.
want like a basis of comparison as well. See the bacon? Maybe not quite as cremated crispy as you like it, but this is more my speed. Oh yeah, it's still pretty crispy.
Fantastic bacon. Oh wait, sausage is a good litmus test too. Man, Norm's is fantastic, huh?
I'm impressed, man. I gotta say. This is actually slightly less McDonald's vibes and more like just British, like chipolata vibes.
Okay,
I would
alright.
say.
Yeah.
We have a sort of sub-genre of sausage called chipolatas. Kind of like this.
Food's coming in fast, so get a load of this strawberry waffle. I mean, this is only going to be amazing. There's no way this waffle isn't delicious.
Look at that, man. Where do waffles sit in the kind of pantheon of like baked desserts for breakfast? Are they kind of up there with pancakes for you?
I can't say, man. It's I can go either way any day. I feel like pancakes are a little bit more common, just because you can cook them on the same grill you're cooking everything else with.
Sure. Yeah, when it comes out, still a little bit warm. The strawberry mixture they've got on there is delicious.
So
whipped cream is good. That would kill with a scoop of ice cream.
Well, this is fantastic, and I would love to eat all of this, but I feel like I'm going to burst. But we got to figure out which we think was the best today, run it down. First of all, Nick's.
Nick's was great. Vibe in there was lovely.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the kind of chaos and the small environment once you're in there.
Yeah.
Sat on the bar, you don't know who you're going to be sat next to. You could be talking to anyone. Again, you're having your kind of like Hollywood main character moment while you're eating your very, very tasty food. I like the little spins they're putting on it. Again, still thinking about those huevos rancheros. Thought they were excellent.
Yeah, saugus. What'd you think?
I was really impressed by saugus. I think the quality of the food, was excellent. Your steak particularly, I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
right?
I could not believe that was coming from a diner of
Yeah,
all places.
right, yeah.
That was like a steakhouse meal
Yeah.
at a diner. The vibe in there was cool. Again, felt very old school. Slightly on what I would say like the quieter side, maybe. I think that's a place where you would go take like a book or go and write your screenplay while you're getting your refills, a free coffee,
yeah,
eat your food. But I did really like it.
Okay.
And then we come to Norm's here.
Yeah, Norm's has really impressed me, I'm going to be honest. I've really enjoyed it here. I think the kind of approachability and affordability is really nice because LA is an expensive city. This is somewhere where if I stayed here, I would probably be coming like most days, to be honest. Because you know what you're going to get. It's going to be reliable, it's going to be tasty, it's going to be cheap, it's going to be fast. And
everything, literally everything we ate here was amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Really good. And I think, judging from what you've said and just kind of from what we've experienced today, I think this is really representative of the general LA diner experience.
I would agree with you on that. Of course, we loved all three.
We did.
But if you had to pick one, which would be the one you pick?
My decision is kind of coming more down to the vibe, I think,
Okay.
rather than the food, because the food at all of them has been really good.
Okay.
And I would happily eat at any of them again.
What was your favorite vibe?
I think Norm's might actually be my favorite, man. #1. If I were to recommend this to a friend who wanted an authentic LA diner experience, this is it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a chain, but it's still got the heart. It's got the history. It's been here for so long.
Yeah.
The people in here are so friendly.
Yeah.
The food is excellent. It's quick. It's tasty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, do you feel like you're almost like in a movie that takes place in a diner?
Yes.
I kind of feel that,
There's going to be like a shootout involving Sam L. Jackson over there somewhere any minute now. And we're going to be here eating delicious pancakes and eggs. How about you, Joe? Would you agree?
This is fantastic. I loved everything here. But I was really blown away by the food at Nick's. But it's just different.
Yeah.
But also...
he's really struggling here.
Man,
you're a man divided.
Look, I'm going to say Nick's with the caveat is that these two places are not very similar. And both are fantastic. This was so good. I love this. I think what did it for me with Nick's is the elevation of the food dishes that we had. I guess I just like the uniqueness of Nick's. But this, I mean, everything here is such top quality. I love it too. So I'm just gonna go Nick's, but literally by like a pimple on a nose, just going through like a photo finish. It's a photo. Like, here's it. Nick's, Norm's. Nick's, Norm's. That's how close it is.
My interpretation of the verdict is that, you're an Angelino, you've lived here for a while now. You've been to your fair share of diners.
That's true.
So I guess them doing things slightly differently, putting an elevated spin on it.
That's a very good point.
For you is like, oh, this is new, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Whereas honestly for me, like I've not been to many diners, first time in LA. And this for me is like everything that I imagined and everything I wanted a diner to be.
And you got it.
And I got it right here.
So that's like when I went to Witherspoon's, I'm like, this is the best.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine anyone not liking this. Is that what it's like?
Exactly like that.
Okay, I'm not comparing this place to Spoon's whatsoever. Please don't come at me, I was just joking. I feel like if someone comes here and they're like, I just want the authentic diner experience that I see in TV and movies, they absolutely have to come to Norm's.
I love diners. I do think they are distinct from the UK CAF experience.
Okay.
And I would quite like to see more of them in the UK.
Fantastic, my guy.
I have to finish it.
There's a bakery in Los Angeles where you can find some of the tastiest tres leches cakes, sweet and savory pastries, and cubanos.
If you're from LA, you should know about Portos.
You have to get a whole cake. Don't get a slice, get a whole cake, because if you get one slice, you're going to have to come back and get another slice, so get a whole cake.
Es el restaurante favorito para este tipo de comida, la comida cubana, americana.
I'm an LA native. I actually grew up like 2 minutes away from this Glendale Portos, so coming here is something that's so normal and routine for me. But this place is more than just a neighborhood favorite, so let's go see what makes Portos one of the most legendary Cuban bakeries in LA.
Porto's Bakery and Cafe was opened in Southern California in 1976 by a woman named Rosa Porto, a Cuban immigrant who started baking and selling cakes from her home. Today, there are 5 locations across Southern California.
We got a glimpse inside the kitchen as the team preps their classic Cuban sandwiches, a must-try here at Porto's. The team sells about 45,000 Cubanos a month across all locations.
If you haven't had a Porto's Cuban sandwich, you don't know what a Cuban sandwich is supposed to taste like.
What's your favorite part about the Cubano sandwich?
The pickles, the mustard, the cheese, the meat is like slow roasted.
All right, so this is our process on preparing the pork legs for roasting. As you can see, we wrap it with fresh garlic and extra virgin olive oil, and it'll be all over. And then we have this dry rub which is salt and black pepper and brown sugar and dried oregano and a little bit of cumin. So once they get in the oven, we roast them at very, very, very low temperature overnight for about 9 hours. So that way the meat that comes out is very moist, doesn't get too dry. You have to get ahead of time, ahead of the game a little bit, so we pre-make like 10, 20 at the time, and then we press them as needed. So we're gonna put a little layer of beautiful butter, and then we're gonna go with a lightly smoked ham. Next, we're gonna put in some of the pork legs that I showed you before. We're gonna put a little bit of Swiss cheese.
Cheese and pickles?
And pickles.
Ah.
And then on the top part of the bread, we're gonna put in a little bit of what we call Cuban dressing, which is mayonnaise, mustard, and a little bit of cilantro.
Wow. This sandwich is like layers of perfection. I feel like every ingredient has a specific purpose, and the bread makes it all perfect. It has like a crunch, but it's also so soft that it doesn't like scrape the top of your mouth. It's classic, it's simple.
The perfect pairing to any Cubano, or really any sandwich at Porto's, are the plantain chips. The team goes through 80,000 pounds of fresh green plátanos every month. Once the slices are fried, they're lightly sprinkled with garlic salt.
It's so garlicky, it's so good. If you're a garlic lover, the plantain chips are already coated with garlic salt, and with their sauce, it kind of just like elevates it to another level. It's fantastic.
And a visit to Porto's is never complete without an order of
potato balls.
Potato balls.
Potato balls.
Potato balls all day long.
That's what people drive miles and miles to get, those potato balls. Everywhere that I go, I do shows and where are the potato balls? You should bring potato balls. And we want to introduce new items, but they don't care about trying new items, but they want their potato balls.
So this is a picadillo that goes inside potato balls or papas rellenas. It's ground beef with peppers and onions, lots of garlic, cumin, and a little bit of tomato sauce, a little bit of white wine. Then we let it simmer. And then this is the picadillo that we were just making before, which is now cold. And we just put it in the middle and fold the potatoes around it. And then it goes into egg wash and then into the breadcrumbs.
The potato balls are then deep fried and ready to go.
Ooh, okay, here's the thing. I always eat this really hot and I feel like I have no patience and I end up burning my mouth, but I don't care because I keep eating because it's so delicious. But here we go again. I have to finish it.
They're always warm and they're always like crispy on the outside and then soft on the inside. So yeah, they just like remind me of kind of like home comfort food. So yeah, they're really good.
Over the years, the team has built on Rosa's recipes, like her classic tres leches cake. The best seller is the milk and berries cake, which consists of a sponge cake base soaked with tres leches and filled and topped with whipped cream and fresh berries.
At the beginning, it was just tres leches with meringue on top, the original one. And then we gave it whipped cream to make it less sweet for the people who like the sweet and the less sweet.
This is like the birthday cake we'd always order. It's so good. The fruits really do cut into the sweetness.
Personally, I've had every single birthday cake since I was like 3 years old from Porto, so they mean a lot to me.
So my mom started this business really out of necessity back in Cuba under communism. Horrible conditions because my dad was taken to a labor camp and she was, let go from her job. And so she did this in order to survive because there's nothing else she could do. When you applied to leave the country, you immediately became the enemy of the state. So they didn't care whether you live or not. And it took us 8 years to get out. So for 8 years, my mother was in charge of keeping us alive. She was the head of the household. My dad making $8 a month away from the home really couldn't support us. You know, necessity is what many times makes people do incredible things, right?
Rosa Porto passed away in December 2019, but the Porto family, including Rosa's 3 kids, are carrying on the Porto's bakery tradition.
The more people talk to you, the more you realize how many people she was able to reach and the legacy that she's left. Because how many immigrants come to this country in 40 years, get to be a household name. We're very happy that she gets that kind of recognition in her community that she did so much for. It's a good thing for all of us. We're very proud.
A tortilla that's fried to perfection, you could tell when you pull it out, it's fluffy, it's a little bubbly. You could tell that when someone's gonna bite it, it's gonna have this amazing crunch that's just gonna stop conversation. This is more of a Mexico City style flauta, which is gonna be a little saucier. We almost like butter them up with cream. We top them with salsa verde de guacamole. So it's a guacamole-based green salsa. And the red salsa is just a little bit of spice. And the cotija cheese gives you a little bit of saltiness and like cheesiness at the end.
You taste everything. It's full of spice, it has sazon. I personally like all of the toppings. I like the green salsa with the sour cream and the cheese on top. It tastes amazing. Just, you can't find it anywhere else. I know that he gets really busy and the lines get really long, so I wanted to make sure I got here before the line got really crazy.
Our lamb barbacoa, it's estilo Texcoco, which is my father-in-law's home state. So he brought back these recipes that were from family from a long time ago, and throughout the whole years has perfected this lamb barbacoa that loses some of that gaminess, that is still juicy. Part of the tradition of it is using pencas. It's like a blue Weber agave leaf, avocado leaves, different spices, different seasonings, and steaming it for a very long time, approximately 12 hours. It's an art, making sure it gets nice and soft and succulent.
Thank you. The chicken? Definitely.
It's a chipotle chicken tinga that we stew for a few hours, drain it, we cool it, and we put it into the tortilla. So it's very fresh. We don't want it to be too dry, so the thigh gives a little bit of juiciness to it. Tomatoes, onions, you add a little bit of bay leaves, right? You add some spices to it. So we put it in our flauta. I mean, even when you fry it, what you smell when you get close to Los Dorados truck, you're smelling that chipotle, tomato, onions, like just heating up and like letting out their aromas out into the world, right? La charola is the pan that we use to fry the flautas. You put the perfect amount of oil, the perfect amount of flautas in there at a time, heats them efficiently. They look beautiful standing on the side of the charola. It's even like a show. You see the flame in the bottom and you know the way that you can drop them in there and kind of make sure that they're getting cooked from the inside. Our charola specifically has been used with our family for generations, and it was specially made for flautas and passed down to us. Every time we start our service, we use a little bit of each previous service's oil so we can keep that flavor each and every time that we fry flautas in it. It's like the mother oil that we've been using since the beginning. The tortilla that we make, it's particular to frying. There's a balanced moisture content, and you could even see it in the flautas, the way that they fry. So it doesn't absorb oil, and you get the crunch without the oiliness of it.
Man, these are crispy, delicious.
Los Dorados started the day I went to a baptism and I had my father-in-law's flautas and fell in love with them and thought that everyone needed to try this. He was one of the first taqueros in LA. So everything that comes from Los Dorados is based off of a family recipe that's been going on for ages, for over 5 decades. For him to allow us to use the family recipes to create happiness, it's heartwarming. That's the energy that keeps us going, that keeps me going.
These are incredible. Ooh, wow, it's so good. It's like juicy chicken with a really crispy exterior, and all the sauces stick to the outside really well. No watery sauces here. The best time to eat them is right when they come out of the fryer. The inside is piping hot, steaming, and then the outside sauces are chilled, so you have that temperature difference too. The sauces are what really pull everything together. They complement the way that the chicken is spiced perfectly. These are hands down the best flautas I've ever had in my life, and quite possibly the best flautas I will ever have. You want this crunch.
That's exactly what Anajak Thai specializes in.
Love it. It's good.
They're one of LA's original Thai spots. Been around for about 40 years. The family still runs it. We're gonna meet them and get a sense of how good their Southern Thai style fried chicken really is.
Southern Thai fried chicken style is saltiness, crispiness. It has to be satisfying the crazy comfort of having salty chicken and shallot sticky rice. Shallot sticky rice, a little sweet. That's perfect peasant food, right? So a salty protein and then a very hearty starch. The flavor of the chicken has to be juicy, but not overly salty. So we start with brining, it's a wet brine, and then we move to doing a marinade after it's dried. The marinade is like shallots and garlic. It's got like a twang from the turmeric, and you can see that it really gets in there. And it's got that kind of heat from the white pepper, and the batter has some lime paste in it. Just to get that super crisp. And you can see that like when the skin like crisps up, it creates that crazy rigid structure. The marinade on the chicken has all the shallots and stuff clinging onto it. So as we're dipping it, that ends up in the batter and it's flavoring the batter as it goes. There's all sorts of marinades that are done in Nakhon with like either just salt or just fish sauce or fish sauce and garlic. But you always see garlic and you see turmeric, and there's a heavy salt component with a super crispy orange golden type of skin. The reason why Thai food is special is because it's the combination of comfort and adventure. It straddles that line between all those beautiful staples of our cuisine and things that are wild. I mean, Thai food, you could find raw blood salads. You can find fried rice roaches. I remember in the past, Dad said that he had done like at least a dozen different batters and marinades. He's a very curious cook. Dad was doing it like a couple weeks at a time on Monday. That's our like family, that was our family test kitchen day.
Like a lot of us who don't live at home, lately Justin Pichatrungsi hasn't seen much of his parents. He grew up in the restaurant they started before he was born, and he's since taken over as the second-generation chef owner. Today, his mom and dad have taken a break from quarantine to visit him. And like any good son, he's making sure they eat.
This fried chicken always remind me of my hometown. Where I come from is Nakhon, where it is famous for this. Tastes different than the KFC or Popeye or those, because we have Thai herbs in it. Ricky, he's the owner until he had a stroke.
My father's in the hospital, and it was my responsibility to come in and take over. So I just like slipped into my father's shoes, and it's hard shoes, you know. It's tough. It's a little tight, the shoe. Actually, it's been a while since I've had it.
He always sold out before you can eat.
All right, after seeing this fried chicken, I am super excited. You hear this? That is the sound of crispy fried chicken. You can really tell there is no part of this chicken unbattered. Equal opportunity batter. This alone is gold. It's these crispy little edges on the outside. It definitely has that salty umami, and yet turmeric-y and herbal taste that you don't usually get with fried chicken. That crispy exterior and that soft, juicy inside is just, The fried chicken alone is outstanding. It can really hold its own without any condiments. But this sauce, putting that right on top, oh, that just really brings it to life. I mean, it's really bright, it's sour, it's spicy. I really like spicy.
It's called namjim seafood. It can be used on anything, even things that aren't seafood. Typically, namjim seafood's a little bit on the green side, but ours is like bright red because we're using red chilies right now. And I think it goes like, get that heat. At first, you may be like, nah, I'm not a sweet sauce kind of guy. You'll eventually, everyone moves to the sweet sauce. No one is higher than the sweet sauce. No one. In the landscape of Thai restaurants in LA, we're definitely part of the old guard. I mean, the LA Thai restaurant, it's like the neighborhood Thai restaurant. The neighborhood Thai restaurant that has all of the things, the stoplight curries, the pad thais and pad sius. But there's all sorts of like now little diverse pockets of Thai restaurants that specialize in different corners of Thailand.
Even though Justin's perfected his fried chicken, he still considers his father to be the expert in the family.
Put a little bit lime juice and fish sauce, a little bit more.
His eagle eyes, definitely watching. He's very attuned to the sounds of the wok even. It was the first time he dined here after his stroke. And he turns to me and he says, from the way that I'm hearing everything, it sounds like everything's going well. Sounds like you guys are working together well, just based on how it sounds. Right now, they're the at-home, off-site managing partners. Yeah, no, I'm always open to their feedback, you know? I mean, they give me their feedback whether I want it or not.
I check them, so I don't tell that it's for me. I want to see how they serve the customer.
She's a secret shopper.
I pretty tough on him because I want him to maintain how good our restaurant is. I eat and I tell him.
Philadelphia water ice is very important to the city of Philadelphia. It's probably more important than cheesesteaks to me.
This is bomb, ridiculously bomb, and it's ridiculously refreshing when it's 100 degrees outside. Good job, Happy Ice.
What's up guys, Frenchie here on probably one of the hottest days in Los Angeles, but it's fine because today we're gonna try Happy Ice.
Imagine if shaved ice, sorbet, and ice cream came together to make one flavor or one amazing product, it would create Happy Ice.
Happy Ice is a very easy experience compared to Italian ice. So when I had it for the first time, I was super shocked that my spoon had just cut right through it like I was eating an ice cream. The texture in my mouth was creamy and rich like ice cream.
I would say our top flavors are cherry bomb, our strawberry lemon lush, a pineapple potion, a blueberry blast, mango madness, a lucky lemon. We have a bunch of fun flavors where you're able to choose a combination, put it inside a cup, and we can make a rainbow out of any selection of flavors that you make.
Happy Ice was the perfect thing on a hot LA day. And being from Philly, I really craved water ice, or as I called it, water ice. And I told my stepson about it and he's like, what is that? And thought it might be gelato or ice cream. My fiance looked it up and found Happy Ice, so we just rode our bikes there.
Because it has the creamy texture of ice cream, fruity flavors of sorbet, but refreshing like shaved ice, and it's vegan friendly, dairy free, and we make it in-house. You make it the same way you make ice cream. So it's like that little extra ingredients that changes the texture. And also I have an authentic Philadelphia water ice recipe. It's a secret recipe. And also it's like really just in the inner city of Philadelphia. A lot of people don't go there to try and figure out how to make that product. So me just being from where I'm from, and I learned from being a family friend, I was able to get the recipe, and then also I'm an artist, so I saw the vision of how, you know, I can deliver that to the world.
This is real sweat, people. Just come on, let's go. Hopefully I don't melt before I get inside. She got hers.
I started visiting LA about like 5 years ago. So during that time I was traveling back and forth, and my brother actually passed away in a motorcycle accident. And I was telling him like, bro, I love it. I want to go out there and try and chase my dreams. So when he passed away, I actually, I went for it. Yeah, I started off as a tattoo artist, and during that time of me tattooing on Melrose, I learned about the food truck culture, and I saw that it was a more affordable way to bring a piece of my hometown here. So, I called my mom about the idea. She loved it. She supported me the whole way, and September 4th of 2017, Happy Ice opened with its first truck. Oh, man, what? It was super tough. Woo! Trying to introduce Happy Ice to Los Angeles was super hard. We had like wow factors and stuff that would make people get excited. We started to catch, then we started to get celebrities to come. And man, today it's amazing to see the awareness for the brand and the product has grown so much from when we first started, because it was not easy.
My first time going to Happy Ice was about a month or so ago. I came across anything that looks remotely close to water ice is going to catch my attention because I am from Philadelphia. Water ice in Philadelphia is like It's like water. You grow up with it. There's water ice places on every corner. Rita's is popular, but everyone maybe has their own neighborhood spot.
There's not a part of my childhood where water ice isn't inside of it. As soon as the summertime would hit, your mindset automatically jumped into water ice mode. So that's why when I came out here and we didn't have it in this heat all the time, I was like, man, they got to experience what I experienced growing up.
How you doing? I'm a first timer.
What's up? So you can go ahead and choose any 3 flavors to customize your own cup, or go with one of our combinations below. We have our Time Machine All-Star and our Famous Rainbow Rocket.
Famous Rainbow Rocket? Let's go with the Rainbow Rocket. Let's go with the largest. It's hot outside. Let's do it.
It's nostalgia. It just makes you happy. And right now, refreshing above all. I said water ice, but my every urge is water ice.
It's crazy because people say that people from Philadelphia kind of have an accent, and they can kind of hear an accent in me when I say water. So, so when we say water ice, it's kind of like you're saying wood with an ER at the end, so like water ice. It's crazy. I didn't know I had an accent, but everybody seems to say I have one.
I was with my daughter, not unlike a day like today. It was like 98 degrees outside, and somebody was walking that direction where we were with what I found out later was Happy Ice. So I said, come on everybody, let's go get one of those because that looks great.
So with him being behind me, we were able to actually jump to the opportunity of getting our storefront.
Decided to get the Rainbow Rocket, and just holding it, I'm already cooling down. I'm super excited to try it. Of course, as you can see, all the colors, keeping it super duper friendly and super duper happy. I mean, I guess that's why they call it Happy Ice. As I'm eating this, I'm absolutely cooling down. It's the perfect thing to get on a super duper hot day in Los Angeles. I promise you. If it looks good on video, then you definitely want to try it for yourself.
Happy Ice definitely feels more authentic, kind of because I didn't know it was coming. It was like such a pleasant surprise. And in the middle of a pandemic, it was like a taste of home that was very necessary for anyone who can't make it home.
This is good. It's very flavorful, and all the colors absolutely represent a different flavor. So this is good stuff, people. The blue tastes like blueberry. The red tastes like cherry. Every bite is absolutely flavorful. Trust me, you want this. Oh yeah, we're going to work on this.
I would say we're probably somewhere between 40 and 50,000 people a month right now that we're serving.
It's this thing that triggers nostalgia and just, I mean, I don't want to be corny, but happiness. It just really, that's what it was for me.
Me siento como si estoy en casa because it said estilo de Tijuana, and I wanted to see if it was actually from Tijuana, and to be honest, it really is.
I don't know how to explain it, the flavor you get. The meat is so juicy and tender. I don't know, you just have to try it for yourself. Hi guys, my name is Teddy Vasquez, and I'm the owner of Teddy's Red Tacos. This meat is all beef, shoulder cut from the beef part. Everything gets cooked in a pot. It boils for several hours. We put tomatoes, spices, and this is how it comes out after a couple hours of getting cooked overnight. This is all the shredded beef. So we just chop it up, and then we like to throw in some of the juice. This is what Teddy's Red Tacos it's all about. You just get a tortilla, a plate, throw a handful of meat, with onions, some cilantro, some hot sauce, and some juice. Boom, and there you go, Teddy's Red Tacos.
Double dipping.
We got Mario on the grill. Mario, one of the best ones. We have Delfino here, a great superstar here as well. This is our famous deluxe plate. It consists of 4 items. This is a taco tostada. This round one, we call it a molita because it has meat and cheese inside, onion, cilantro, and my favorite one is the quesadilla. Put some hot sauce, squeeze a little bit of lime, put in some broth. This is the juice of the meat. I like it like this. I like to do this. You close it up. and you enjoy. When we cook the meat, it releases this fat, and we wet the tortillas in the pot, and we throw it in the grill. The tortillas are wet red. That's why the tortillas come out extra crispy and all that.
I've seen it on TV, and my boyfriend's cousin actually lives close by, so we just wanted to stop by. But I've seen it through TV, Instagram. It's soft. It's very moist. It kind of just sinks in. And it's good. It's good.
The tortilla's red, and it's like just like crispy. You know, definitely different.
This is unbelievably amazing because with this simple concept, just 4 items on a plate, one meat, simple, people making lines, people are excited to come check it out. I'm just beyond blessed, beyond grateful. Back in October 2016, I started selling my tacos on the weekends in a little old warehouse. At first, in the beginning, people didn't know me, and I didn't have any customers whatsoever. But when I was done cooking, I put everything in the trunk of my car. And during the week, I was driving for Uber, for Lyft, and I'll get a ride, and people will be like, hey, what's the smell? What does it smell like? Food. And I'm like, hey, I'm glad you asked. So actually, I sell tacos. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, tacos? Yeah. Within 9 months, I was able to get my first truck. I had the vision to park somewhere where I wanted to put tents and tables. So I saw this spot here on Slaughter and the railroads, and I said to myself, wow, this is a pretty cool spot. And I just had the vision, like, what if we were able to park here, put tents and tables, put some music in the background, you're having some tacos. That'd be pretty cool. For me, opening the restaurant was more simple because I have a partner over there. I don't have to worry as much as over there. I was kind of hesitant. I'm like, what if people doesn't respond to our food, to our concept? But then the same thing kicked in. Yes, it's possible. Yes, 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 yes.
I sampled everything, and everything was really delicious.
And how does it compare to other tacos that you've had in the restaurant?
These are definitely up in the top. They're delicious.
Best birria ever. The meat, the soup, everything, delicious.
The best thing that I love about my job is that people's reaction. And to people react to me excited, and they're willing to wait in line for 30, 40, 1 hour, 2 hours. I'm beyond grateful for that.
Regardless if it's like the quesadillas, the tacos, the lemons, everything is so good here.
It's good. It's got a little bit of kick to it, but with the onions and everything, it's a good taco. It definitely lives up to the ratings.
People always say that Los Angeles has terrible bagels. I'm a former New Yorker, and it's my mission to find the best bagels in LA. I know that there are good bagels in LA, we just have to find them. To help me in my mission of finding the best bagels in Los Angeles, I'm bringing my friend Evan Fox, who owns Yeasty Boys Bagels, to show me where the best ones in the city are. Evan's gonna take me to his food truck, Yeasty Boys. We're gonna go to Courage Bagels in Silver Lake, and we're gonna go to Brooklyn Bagels in Westlake. We're here to eat bagels. First up, we're headed to the Yeasty Boys truck parked outside Alfred Coffee in West Hollywood. This is the famous Evan Fox. He owns Yeasty Boys, which is right behind me.
Sure do.
So tell me how Yeasty Boys came about.
So in 2014, we were just making bagels out of our apartment, and just for fun. It was like, let's start a band, and we did. And we started kind of taking them to people around town to see what they think. People dug it, and they're like, yo, we should do Coachella. So I got in contact with them. They're like, yep, great idea. Let's go. Week after that, we got our first truck, and then we're here now, 2 trucks later.
So like, what gives you the authority to take me around LA and show me the best bagels the city has to offer?
I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeasty Boys trucks go all over the city serving their giant bagels loaded with delicious toppings. They offer classics like lox and cream cheese or more hearty options like bacon, gooey cheese, and egg. Then there are some slightly more, let's say, wild options, like this one made with pastrami, fried eggs, melty cheese, and turkey. But before we try their bagels, let's talk a bit about what makes a good bagel in the first place. You can hear the
Crunch.
yeah, baby.
Got that shell, you know, you want to hear that, you want that shell.
So tell me, like, when you were developing this recipe and developing your bagels, like, what were you looking for? What was your hope?
I knew I wanted a chewy inside, and I knew that I wanted it big for sandwiches. So see these like little bubbles right here? That comes from the gas convection oven that we use, as well as the proofing time, which is very important when you make a bagel, cold proofing like you do pizza. So any good bagel will have that, plus boiling them. Those three things, most crucial component.
I'm learning a lot. Yeasty Boys makes its bagels at Diamond Bakery on Fairfax in LA. It's a legendary institution that's been around since 1946, slinging bagels, pastries, and more. The bagels are 5 ounces each and remind me of what I can only describe as the best of both worlds between a Montreal-style bagel and a New York-style bagel. But more on that later. So you have perfected the sandwich bagel.
Yeah, honestly, historically, you go to a bagel place and you get veggie cream cheese and there's like 2 pieces of carrot and a scallion in it. And it's like, wait, why don't we just add veggie cream cheese, turkey, bacon, fried eggs, sprouts, tomato? Like, it's just fun, you know? Like, yeah, I wanted like a bagel sandwich.
That's what I need like on a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Hangover life. Yeah. Big time.
Absolutely. Well, we've talked about bagels. I'm starving.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. It's beautiful.
Look at that.
Oh, and that's like, that is some cream cheese. Those are some lox. Like, that's what's up. And poppy seed. Can't beat it. I love the texture that you get with poppy seed bagels. It's got like the right amount of bite to it. A lot of lox in here as well. You know what's up. You know what you're doing. I'm glad you're taking me on a bagel adventure because you're the guy.
I mean, we just moved down the street and we see the truck all the time, and this is my second time, so definitely going to become loyal to the bagels.
A lot of people like cream cheese on both sides, bottom and top. Dude, just 2 to 3 ounces of cream cheese is way more than enough. If you're doing top and bottom, it's too much for me. At least that's my taste. So,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need like cream. It's not about the cream cheese, it's about the bagel. Although there are people that are cream cheese fiends. I do know many people who would happily say that cream cheese is their favorite food. And I'm looking at you, Charlie Weissman.
Charlie!
True story, cream cheese is my favorite food. I'm excited to talk about it.
That's disgusting. I'm back in New York already.
Oh yeah.
What I really love about these bagels is that the bottom also is like pizza. Like pizza crust on the bottom. This is delicious. You know what's up.
Thank you.
So please show me all the other bagels that I'm missing out on.
Let's go crush it.
And let's prove that LA has awesome bagels. The next day, I met up with Evan at Courage Bagels in Silver Lake.
We're here to get the best bagels ever.
All right, so it's Sunday.
Yes.
You left your truck.
Yeah, I left my business.
To come here and eat Courage Bagels.
Worth it.
Absolutely. So they are set up at Broome Street General Store, which is really kind of bougie and everything in there is really expensive, but I also want
$70 candles.
$70 candles. But you can also get really delicious bagels. I'm really, really excited to try these ones. I am a big Montreal-style bagel fan. How do you feel about Montreal-style bagels?
My favorite style.
Really?
Yes. It's so for sandwiches, no. But for just everyday bagels and like bagels and cream cheese, just eating them, 100%.
So can you like explain to me like what the difference between a New York style bagel and a Montreal style bagel is?
For sure, for sure. So the New York style bagels are fat, plump, chewy. It's almost like a mini Neapolitan pizza. They're so fat and plump. Montreal, they're usually boiled in honey. So they're a little sweeter, they're artisan, they're much thinner and crispier and crunchy, and it's almost like you have to really sit there and enjoy it.
Yeah, what he said. Partners Ariel Sky and Chris Moss offer farm-fresh toppings like heirloom tomatoes, cucumbers, and labna for their Montreal-style bagels.
I lost my job and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something, and I worked for a really crappy company. So I was like, I need to do something like real and pure and like with my hands. And that just turned into bagels randomly. And then shortly after that, I started selling them on my bicycle around the neighborhood. And then last summer we got into the farmer's market, and now here we are.
She's obsessed with the history of bagels and bread in general, which is so fascinating. And so she started reading to me from this book, and in this book it was talking about how bagels represent Jewish courage, which we both love, and right when she said that I was like, that's the name, Courage Bagels. Well, there's no commercial yeast, so they're all wild yeasted, and we kind of adhere to principles of baking that are probably thousands of years old. Flour and water, left out to collect the natural bacteria and yeast that are in the air and on people's hands and in the flour itself. It makes for a much more digestible bread or bagel in this case, and it also makes the flavor incredible, the texture. We get this really crisp, almost like a glassine crust, but then inside it's tender and it's chewy and it's really flavorful.
The thing that really sets these bagels apart for me, though, is that you can get them slightly burned. I know, it's kind of weird, but it's super delicious. The one thing New York bagels definitely don't have is fresh produce like this. Fresh tomato, fresh cucumber, the onions even smell good.
Where do you get a tomato like this?
Not in New York, that's for sure.
Seriously.
All right, let's go for it, because I'm dying. It's so crunchy.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. I love how it's burned. It's a little nutty. Mm-hmm. And the labna is just, it's really mild and nice and light, I think, compared to traditional cream cheese.
They must put some lemon juice in here too.
This rules. It's so good.
Yeah.
This is California for me.
100%.
Holy cow.
Yes.
I think these are some of the best lox I've had in LA.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Where is this from?
I don't know. I didn't even ask. I just saw lox and I said, yes, give me lox.
Lox aren't like prosciutto, don't call me. Gotta be paper thin like this.
You can call me, I'll eat any lox. Thanks for leaving your truck today to come.
I know, worth it.
Crispy, crunchy, Montreal style. Much different than the other bagels we've had. I love it. Our last stop on this bagel tour is Brooklyn Bagel Bakery. The shop opened in 1953, but it had to close in 2015 due to a wall collapse in the original space. In 2018, though, it made a triumphant return and has gotten back to cranking out some of LA's favorite bagels.
I've been coming here since 1982, and even every day I would come. And one Saturday I came, as Saturday night, and they would open after Shabbat. At 8 p.m. and I would see the fire on, just started the oven, and fresh bagels in half an hour, 1 hour. Not too many people can do as original as they can do here. It's unbelievable what they do.
Their production facility makes thousands and thousands of bagels for both the shop and for wholesale. The bagels are slightly smaller than what you might find in New York, but they definitely have more of an old school feel than the other places we've tried. I have not had these bagels yet.
Let's try them.
And it's got that nice tap that you want to hear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love poppy seed. Like, the texture is so good.
You gotta try this.
Yeah, let's trade. Here, take the other half of mine.
Trade.
Oh, yeah. What are we doing?
Was not expecting that.
And you know what else I like about this is the size.
3.5 ounce bagel. That's what's up. The reason I really like these
Yeah.
Sometimes when you toast it, the chewiness like is gone.
Yeah, and that's the thing in New York, like you don't toast the bagel.
You don't toast them. So
Yeah.
Here, they make them hot, so they're doing that, but it has that chewy texture, and I like the crunch on the outside.
The other thing that I love is the original sign that they have with the original prices, $1/4 for a bagel, 25 cents.
How are you gonna have a baker's dozen for $2?
And it says if you buy $59 worth of bagels in cash, you get a free dozen.
Ready here for that.
I think that we've done a pretty good job eating here today. And these bagels are pretty great.
I agree.
Yeah, right size, good chew, different method than what Evan uses, so it's kind of fun to see how LA has different kinds of bagels. And great to see that they have reopened to kind of save this, you know, legendary business.
This is such a beautiful spot. It's an institution for sure.
The time has come. We've eaten some of LA's best bagels, and now I have to pick my favorite one.
First up, Yeasty Boys.
So the thing about Yeasty Boys is that they're the best version of like a New York style bagel meets a Montreal style bagel. And I'm from New York, but my mom's also Canadian, so it combines my two favorite things. The Yeasty Boys bagels are big enough and like hefty enough for you to be able to load them up with whatever toppings you want. I'm talking cream cheese, I'm talking bacon, I'm talking lox, I'm talking cheese.
Next, Courage Bagels.
Courage bagels are more of the Montreal style bagel. They're on the other side of the spectrum of bagels that we've tried in this experiment, if you will. They're really crispy on the outside, nice and chewy on the inside, but there's a ton of like little air pockets in the dough, and that comes from the naturally yeasted dough that they use. And so there's little like pools that you can fill up with cream cheese or labneh or whatever other toppings you want, and I really, really liked that.
And finally, Brooklyn Bagel Bakery.
They're definitely more of like an old school style bagel. It reminds me the most of New York of all the bagels we tried. They make a slightly smaller bagel, which is kind of nice if you're not looking to eat like a giant sandwich and you just want some cream cheese, some lox, nothing fancy. Brooklyn Bagel Company is perfect for that. It's definitely the place you would go to like grab a bag of bagels to bring to the office. There's something for everyone in LA, and I think that after seeing all the different bagels that we tried, nobody can say that LA doesn't have good bagels. We've proven that they do. So there. If I have to pick a favorite, it's gonna be Courage Bagels. I know, I'm sorry, but they're Montreal style. I have a soft spot for that. It's my personal favorite. Everyone else, I'm sure, has a preference, but for me, it's gonna be Courage Bagels. The reason I loved Courage so much was because the outside's really crispy and the inside is really light and airy. It's not heavy, it's not dense, and I love that they give you the option to buy a burned bagel, because I love that like really nice depth of flavor you get from burning something just a little bit. And their toppings are premium. I mean, like I said, the heirloom tomatoes, the nice olive oil, the sea salt, the labneh, the za'atar. They run the gamut of interesting ingredients, and bagels are all great, but when you add something unique like that, it just takes it to like another level. So I hope that we've shown you that LA has awesome bagels. We're having kind of like a bagel renaissance in Los Angeles right now, so I hope you go try some of them. Let us know if we missed anywhere, and enjoy.
According to the shop, these chocolates have been favorites for Frank Sinatra and Katharine Hepburn, among other Hollywood celebs. This is how Edelweiss became LA's most iconic chocolate shop. Edelweiss is a petite candy store located in the heart of Beverly Hills.
We opened in 1942. The original owner was Mrs. Grace Young, and she opened the shop. It's always been in the same location. We make about 120 different varieties of handmade chocolates. There have been 5 owners of the business, and my family is the fifth owner.
We went straight to where the magic happens, starting with the gourmet marshmallows.
The original recipes that Mrs. Young started with were the marshmallows. We have 9 different varieties that we do every day, and then we have a lot of different seasonal varieties that we do. So those were her specialties.
It's not like the store-bought marshmallows at all. It's so fluffy. It's so cute. Oh, when I talk to my food.
Edelweiss still uses some of its original machinery.
It's all original equipment. It allows us to continue the traditional art of candy making processed by hand. It's kind of hard to do that without the original equipment, so much of the equipment is older or just around 100 years old.
But they've also incorporated new automated machinery into their production. So they're still making tasty, quality chocolate, but faster. Regardless of what machinery the shop uses, they still follow traditional chocolate making techniques. That includes treats that can best be made with your hands.
Being this close to Hollywood and being here for as long as we have, you name the celebrity, the head of state, kings, queens, royalty, presidents, they've all been in this shop, they've all had our product.
The chocolate shop also inspired Lucille Ball to film the famous chocolate factory scene from I Love Lucy. Story goes that Lucy would walk through the factory to get to the front shop. One day, she saw an employee trying to keep up with the chocolates coming down the conveyor belt. Lucy witnessed chocolate flying everywhere, and a light bulb went off in her head. She later recreated the factory scene on the I Love Lucy soundstage, so obviously, I had to try it out myself too.
That is terrible. That's harder than it looks. I'm sorry, Lucy. We're both not made for chocolate.
I love this assortment. There's so much you can try. There's chocolate-covered apricots. There's lots of buttercream, lots of milk chocolate, dark chocolate. I feel like this box can satisfy anyone. This is dark chocolate filled with dark chocolate buttercream. I wasn't expecting that burst of buttercream, but I'm happy it happened. This is all peanut butter inside. This is so good. Chocolates and peanut butter, like, there's nothing better than that.
This business, I truly believe it doesn't even belong to my family, it belongs to this community. We have customers whose families have been shopping here for 70 years. The great-grandparents brought the grandchildren, who brought their children, who now bring their children. This feels like a second home to a lot of people, and that tradition is also something that we really seek to keep alive because it's so important to the community. It's a meeting area for a lot of people, and we're here to make people happy and to be a part of the community and keep that tradition going.
To sort of have all these people, a lot of whom aren't necessarily Jewish, enjoying Jewish American food in that way, and kind of learning a little bit along the way about the history of Jewish American food and Ashkenazi cooking. It's a cool thing that people can come together over something that's so niche.
We are at Friedman's today in Los Angeles. It is one of my absolute favorite restaurants in the city. I come here all the time, and I'm really excited to show you what they have to offer. The tableside brisket is what they're known for, but their cocktails, all the other food they make, the smoked salmon, the matzo ball soup, it feels like home, and I cannot wait to show you what's inside, so let's go. This is Jonah Friedman, and he's the owner of, you guessed it, Friedman's. It's a Jewish deli-inspired restaurant in Silver Lake. He's managed to turn this place into one of the hottest spots in LA. The star of the show is, of course, the famous brisket. It's served tableside with bone marrow, rye bread, fried potatoes, and pickles.
Obviously, it's become a classic here at Friedman's since opening. And I think the reason for that is that it's not a very chefy dish. It's not over the top. There's no wild garnishes. It's just something you can easily make at home. So we just start with searing the brisket, and we do a simple braise on it. Cooks for about 3 hours, and then glaze it at the end. A little red wine, glucose, and sugar, and that's it. It's like a very, very simple thing. I would say just done correctly and done with care.
The whole brisket is served and carved tableside, soliciting lots of oohs and ahs from diners as it glides across the restaurant.
The reason why we do the tableside brisket is for the reactions. I mean, it's It's definitely for a show, and it's just fun. As soon as we walk it out, everyone's out with their cameras and looking over, and you know, we use a loud electric knife that will really draw attention if you weren't paying attention beforehand.
This brisket reminds me a lot about Shabbat dinners with my parents, my family, my mom. Very, very similar. I have to say this one's a lot better though.
It truly melts in your mouth. I think a lot of Americans are more familiar with like barbecue, Texas-style brisket, and that's something that I spend a lot of my time working with. So eating something different, A, is refreshing, and B, this kind of brisket is so like classic Americana to me. It should be up there with the barbecue briskets. People should care about the Jewish comfort food brisket situation that's going on here at Friedman's. Excuse me. But you do not need a knife for this. You can use one if you want. Oops.
Jonah and his team aren't trying to be the next Cantors or Langers. Friedman's is deli inspired, not an actual deli. But what exactly does that mean?
I grew up eating a little bit of everything. I definitely did the deli thing with my grandparents. That was big with them, sort of going out and going to the various like Toronto Jewish delis and going to get bagels with my dad. But then at home we would eat whatever. My mom was a very, very good cook and always sort of placed a really big emphasis on food. So I sort of, you know, grew up, I think, with an appreciation for food that way.
Aside from the brisket, Friedman's makes everything from warm challah and house-made lox to less predictable dishes like incredibly fluffy gnocchi.
Oh my God.
I think there's something so homey about something as simple as just toast and cream cheese and like a piece of fish. My Japanese side, like breakfast food is very much associated with fish as well. So it's interesting that it like layers in different cultures, that you have fish in the morning. It's so good.
Generally, it's kind of split, I would say, almost down the middle of inspiration from a deli and then just kind of inspiration from California and where we're at. I guess it goes a step further than the deli and further into like the history of Ashkenazi cooking and really trying to bring those elements in while pulling what we can out of California as far as, you know, the beautiful produce and working with great purveyors. So we like to say Jewish-ish.
Birria Tacos is a popular taqueria in downtown LA known for unique and innovative tacos. Its high acclaim got Birria Tacos featured in an episode of Taco Chronicles on Netflix. Today we're doing the Omakase menu, a Japanese phrase that means I'll leave it up to you, where Chef Avila and his team decide that day what they're serving. 7 courses. What will they be? I have no idea. You'll find out when I find out.
What sets Birria Tacos apart from other tacos is that we're uniquely Angelino, meaning like our ingredients are pretty broad. We use a lot of stuff that is local, a lot of local seafood. Like you'll see later today, I had brought in some local halibut. We get sea urchin. We play with a lot of stuff like that, but take other techniques using Mexican techniques, French techniques, whatever under the melting pot of Los Angeles that I'd like to use. That's what makes it uniquely Angelino.
This is my second time here, and I saw this spot on Netflix. I was like, I have to come check it out. And I like the decoration, the colors, it's art, and the food is art.
We were just kind of asking some locals where we can get some really good food, and they recommended that we come here. We got a variety of different ones, and I feel like each one kind of had its own kind of like DNA, its own kind of like vibe.
Well, we started the Omakase menu back in June as a way to let my chefs and my cooks be able to express themselves. We'll do 7 courses, whatever it is that comes in, whatever it is that we have that we're playing with, and we'll just do something special. On the menu, it just says, just trust us, and that's what we mean, just trust us.
I don't think I've ever done any sort of like chef surprise me or I trust you sort of menu. I'm Mr. Decision Fatigue when it comes to going to any restaurant. I, as an adult, cannot make my own decisions, so let that adult do it for me. The Omakase menu is $75 for 7 courses, 2 of which will be desserts. All right, it's an oyster. He told me what type. I instantly forgot. And it also comes with the shot that I'm assuming I drink. So I don't know if I gotta pour it on here or just take the hit and then drink it. So I'm gonna do the latter. I'm gonna go boom and then boom. No, I think I'm supposed to pour that on there. That's excellent. First one down, and I'm already very happy. Halibut, heirloom tomatoes, cilantro, for him to have this window where he can kind of be creative and do whatever he's feeling that day. It really makes it exciting. If this was just on the menu, maybe as a starter or something, no way I'm getting it. No way I would think like, oh, I want to start off with ceviche. I like ceviche, I just never would have thought of gotten it. I probably would have gotten, I don't know, mozzarella sticks or something. No tacos yet, but hoping that they'll start coming out soon. Oh man, they're so good. Have you had fava beans before? I've never had them before. All I know is the reference from Silence of the Lambs. And Hannibal Lecter knows what's up with the beans, man. These are great. And this blue corn tortilla chip, all with the olive oil, this thing is excellent. All right, look at this though. I mean, how am I even picking this thing up? Yo, this is the type of taco that people are coming here for. The soft shell crab is like really firm, really crisp, you know? It's fried to like perfection. The tortilla itself is also a lot firmer than it looks, so it's not falling apart at all. And just a little bit of heat to it, so the whole thing works so well together. I mean, look at this thing, is like, it's a sturdy taco. Okay, so this will be the first taquito I've had not from a 7-Eleven, so I'm excited about that. Deep fried shrimp taquito, yo. Absolutely love this thing. Is packed with shrimp.
How's your first non-7-Eleven taquito?
Really great. Now I get it. Now I get why they're so popular. Every course is better than the last one, definitely. Yo, it's a strawberry donuts.
Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, at least we're starting. I'm sorry. This is about as fresh as they come. Perfect. Perfect way to end this. Strawberries are fresh, the donuts are fresh. Perfect. Looks like we are ending this delicious meal with fresh melon. I didn't catch which melon this was, but that's not cantaloupe, is it?
What else could it be?
I don't know a lot about melons. What are the melons? Good name the other melons.
Cantaloupe.
Okay.
Honeydew.
Maybe honeydew?
Watermelon.
Definitely not watermelon. Is a mango a melon?
Mango?
Is that a melon?
Yeah, sure.
This was excellent. It was like a soup to nuts meal. I can't say soup to nuts. There's no soup or nuts. I don't think anything that I was served today, besides maybe the taquitos, is something that would be like, oh, that sounds great, I'll get that. But I'm glad that I did it because everything that came out was better than the thing that came before it. 75 is a little out of my price range, but I mean, it was really good. It's definitely worth $75. I probably wouldn't have done it, but I'm glad I did.
Tito's Tacos is LA's favorite spot for fresh tortilla chips. They're also known for their hard-shell tacos.
All right, so we are here. I am a huge Tito's Taco fan. When I first moved to LA, I had some friends tell me that I had to go to Tito's. And my initial reaction to that was, why would I go eat a hard shell taco? That's not what I came to LA for. But once you see these tacos and the cold cheese and like the crispy, crunchy shell, you will know that it is fully worth checking out. So let's go.
I'm here today with my friends Roman and Craig. They're New Yorkers who think hard-shell tacos are just for Taco Tuesdays. They're wrong, and I'm going to show them what's up.
Tito's was founded back in 1959. It's been about 60 years that we've been in business now, and right now the granddaughter, Lynn Davidson, is still the owner of Tito's. So her grandfather started it, then it was her father, and now it's her. The reason I think makes it different from other places is the fact that we do cook in lard. It makes it taste even better. I remember coming here with my family, having to wait those long lines. Everybody loves the tacos, they love the burritos. People have memories of Tito's when they've been children. We have customers that been coming here for the past 40, 50 years who remember coming with their parents, who come with their children, and it's just a family tradition to always bring them to Tito's.
Tito's signature is the cold cheddar cheese they add to the top of each taco. Honestly, it's the best part.
Food's like different, kind of in its own way. It's like it has that like In-N-Out factor, where it's just like you're not gonna get a burger like In-N-Out anywhere else. You're not gonna get Mexican food like Tito's anywhere else.
They use a lot of tortillas at Tito's, and by a lot, I mean over 8 million pounds of tortillas a year. And they go through over 500,000 pounds of meat. And all that meat goes into the tacos just before they're fried, making them the perfect vessel for that cold cheese. Seriously, I'm getting hungry just watching this. And now for the moment of truth. Roman and Craig's very first bite of Tito's Tacos.
Like, I think once you try these, you're gonna be like converted for real.
I'm ready. Change my life.
That is so
Yeah, we hitting.
good. Obviously better than Taco Bell.
Yeah. Yeah. We way past that point.
Yeah.
We was past that point when I smelled it. I was like, oh no, we at the spot. We at grandma's spot.
The cold cheese gives it a good texture.
You know you're here at Tito's when you have a crunchy hard shell taco with like the warm meat and the cold cheese and like the crisp, refreshing lettuce on the inside. It like pulls it all together and it's just so special and tasty.
I love tacos, but I've really been a soft shell kind of person. Soft shell does fall apart. This is just one complete bite. Like everything is together. It's like heaven. Give me a second.
This is dumb though.
The burrito if you want.
In this? Can I do this?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, great. We about to do that. I'm sorry. It's getting wild, boy. It's getting wild.
This is the oldest family-owned restaurant in Los Angeles. The restaurant is most famous for two things: its massive slabs of juicy prime rib and its connection to old and new Hollywood. As you can imagine, it's packed with history, charm, and a couple of secrets. This is the legendary Tam O'Shanter.
My favorite dish, and of course, being part of Lowry's, I would say it's a prime rib. It's delicious.
The feel that you get when you walk into this restaurant is you're walking back, not only in time, but you're walking into a fantasy land. It looks like Snow White's house from outside, and inside it's fully decorated with knickknacks on the walls. You know, literally from 1922 on to now, there's always new stuff popping up on the walls, something interesting. One of the things we're most famous for is our prime rib. So here's this great piece of prime rib. It weighs almost 20 pounds. It has 8 full bones on it. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna slice it. And we might get 8 portions out of this thing. So it's tried and true. And what we do is we take this meat and we season it with our Lowry's seasoning salt. And we spread it all over the meat. And once it's completely seasoned, all the way around, it rests. And then 24 hours later, we pull out the seasoned piece of beef and it goes into the oven. It goes in at 225 degrees for 3 hours. And when that piece of meat is rested, about 30 to 45 minutes later, it's ready for service.
Wow. It's so savory. It's so tender. I love a good medium rare steak, and I see a lot of blood and it's making me really happy. It's so good, it melts in your mouth. You can taste the gravy and the fat and the meat all together is just absolutely incredible. I don't think I can finish this all by myself, absolutely not, so let's move on to the next dish.
So not only do we serve full cuts of prime rib, but also during lunchtime, one of my favorite things is to walk into the bar and have a prime rib sandwich, where we take the prime rib, we slice it thin, and put it on a beautiful piece of brioche to serve to our guests. A little au jus on the side and some horseradish. It's amazing. And that kind of came out of the necessity that people wanted a quick lunch. They didn't want to sit down to that full kind of Sunday supper meal, especially at noon, and it's quick, and that prime rib sandwich really fits the bill.
I love that. The bread with the meat and the au jus, it's like coming off my fingers, very messy, but very good.
I've been coming to the Tam for about 12 years now, and well, the meat, potatoes, and the corn are the classic, right? It's a classic Tam and Lowry's experience. You can't go wrong with the corn or the mashed potatoes or the prime rib.
The Tam O'Shanter grew up with Hollywood. Hollywood grew up around us here. So we had the silent movie actors and actresses. We have Fatty Arbuckle here in the bar. We also had Mary Pickford, up to even present day, where Tom Hanks, he shot Larry Crown here. So he spent a couple of weeks actually writing parts of the script here in our restaurant. We've done a whole host of other TV shows. The Office was actually shot here.
Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, thank God, we are famished.
We've had Mad Men shoot right here at our bar. We had Glee film at our bar as well. Then throughout the ages, we had Walt Disney, who had a great association with the restaurant because his studio was right down the road. And unfortunately, he didn't have a commissary built into his studio, so there was only one restaurant in the area, and that was this. And that tradition sort of stuck throughout the years. So we're coming up on our 100th year anniversary in 2 years. And we've been family owned and family run by the same families for those almost 100 years now. That's something incredible in Los Angeles, especially because in Los Angeles we tend to knock things down and change them, but the TAM remains the same.
Los Angeles is home to the largest Armenian community in the US, so it's no surprise you can find some of the most delicious Armenian food here. This family-run restaurant has been making Monti together for 16 years, baking thousands of the meat-filled dumplings a day. And they hope to pass the tradition down to the next generation. You can find Manta or Monti on the menu at various Middle Eastern restaurants.
This is the Armenian version. This is what I've grown up eating. This is how we've made it my entire life. But the dish itself, it's so ancient, it's so traditional that I always say it's a Middle Eastern European dish because you'll have a different version in Greece, a different version in Lebanon, a different version in Turkey, a different version in Armenia. Same dish, different variations. We used to do together 2,800. That was just when we started together. So now I can't eat.
Don't count anymore.
Yeah, at this point it's just above the 10,000s daily, easily, yeah. We use a ground beef and it's just marinated with a simple blend of herbs and spices. In each square you put a little pinch of beef. That gets folded, as you can see my mother doing here. She's a pro at everything, at all steps. So I do what she doesn't want to do in that time, and today it's putting the meat so she can fold, and other days it'll be folding so she can put the meat, and whichever one she prefers. When we first started, it was her and I side by side, working for like 6 hours a day making Manta and then working another like 8 hours running the shop. And that's where I learned. I used to be so slow in this, now I race my mom.
Each Manta is tightly packed into a tray, frozen to keep fresh and oven baked when ordered.
So now that they come out of the oven, they'll be topped off in your choice of tomato hot and spicy. Go ahead and hit it with a little bit of blend of herbs and spices. And last but not least, give it a nice dazzle of the garlic cream in our signature Manta M. Bam! Best part about the food is it's preference. So you can have them soft, you can have them crispy. These ones, the edges are nice and crispy. It's been drizzled with the sauce. You get a nice crunch on the edges, but the inside is nice and soft where the beef is. And then as soon as you bite into that shell, you get the explosion of beef flavor.
The mint and sumac and red pepper gives big flavor on top of it. It's special. I don't know, it's good. You will try and you will see how good it is.
So you're not missing out. Hey! Peekaboo! And here's our future generation that we were speaking of, that we definitely want them to learn and know what this tradition is. And here's number 2. See? And this is my sister right here.
It's really important for me, for the kids to learn these traditions. Growing up in diaspora, America, Los Angeles, they're gonna learn the culture of LA, but I want them to learn traditions and family and, you know, what their grandmothers and ancestors cooked. It's important to keep our culture.
Hello. Evelina and her husband Grant left Armenia in the early 90s and started the family business in downtown LA, only to have their doors close a few months later. Then 16 years ago, the family decided to continue with the Manta dream and open a small 200 square foot shop in Pasadena where Grant and Sarkis usually work, and later expanded to Glendale.
My great-grandparents were from Ezranka, Gars, Adana, Sis, and Van. My grandparents, after the events of 1915, migrated outside of Armenia and they went to Lebanon, France, and Romania. And then when it all came back together, all those collective styles of cooking and those flavors and all those traditions came together as our family's recipes.
When I was growing up, I had 2 grandma. One grandma was making open ones, the other one closed ones. I saw that. Maybe they were in different regions. But beside my 2 grandmas, I had my maternal grandfather's cousin, from whom I learned how to open the dough and how to make all the food. How to make the syrups, how to make the fillings. And we call her Bibi. My father made this in Armenia from walnut tree. And my mom is keeping the spice, the mint and sumac and red pepper in there. This piece we have it. So we are keeping like a treasure. These are treasure for me.
Evelina's grandchildren are often at the shop with their family, learning how to make the dish themselves.
Oh, Madeleine, it's like a treasure for them. It's memory. I know nowadays change a lot. They don't pay attention to the memories, but for me it's important. I don't know.